left is Gucci Mane?
Right.
Right? The guy in the hoodie? Not wearing
A, I know what Gucci Mane looks like.
Okay.
2, one's a business owner and one is not.
One is Pooh Shiesty. All right. So we've got that behind us. Gucci Mane's still going to be at the Stallions opener, Tyler? Is that what you're telling me?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. All right.
But what we don't know, who does the Stallions play that day?
That's a great question. I think it's Houston.
Okay, so they play Houston that day. I think they play Houston this weekend.
Okay. Well, I did not come prepared with the Stallions. If you'll give me a second, I'll open the live copy.
Yeah.
UFLstallions.com to get those tickets.
Yeah.
The Stallions are playing. You know what? It's not in the copy.
Yeah.
Scott says Orlando.
Orlando is what
that's
Scott
right.
says.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're playing Orlando. What we didn't know is that Orlando, they have a practice session every Friday. That one period they play Gucci Mane's big hit.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what.
That's their Dixieland delight.
That's what happened in the Oklahoma game. Is that Oklahoma had this big thing planned between the third and the fourth quarter that 50 Cent's going to come out and do their song they play between the third and fourth quarter, and they're going to do it live. Little do they know, Alabama in their practices played that same song every Friday during a practice, and it fired up the Alabama guys as much or more than it did the Oklahoma guys.
Well, what if Orlando, they're big Pooh Shiesty guys, and now we've got Birmingham and Gucci Mane's corner, and Orlando and Pooh Shiesty's corner. That could be a heck of a second half.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I agree.
Do they flag the brandishing of pistol signals after first down?
No, give them the Pooh Shiesty. Yeah. All right.
Stallions, first down.
We go to China next. Sorry for the curveball there, Tyler, but a little breaking news there with Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. Man in China fined by police after they found his wife clinging to the back of his work truck. They've yet to find the issue here. I'll keep reading the story, though, Jim.
She was clinging to the back of his work truck.
His work truck, yeah. I'm assuming he was driving, and she was clinging to the back of it. Hang on, I got to figure out this.
She really is.
The quality's not
I see.
great,
Yeah,
but
I
this
see
is
it now.
her
That's her
hanging
there.
on the back.
Yeah.
She looks very much like the witch from Wizard of Oz flying in a broom.
Yeah. Is he in motion here, Tyler? Do you know?
I believe he is in motion.
Okay.
Yep.
She was trying to see if he was cheating on her. Over the years, the internet has become very well acquainted with wild stories about couples trying to see if their partner is cheating on them. Many have been exposed, running secret Tinder accounts. I think those are fake, by the way. I see some of those on TikTok, like, I just discovered my husband's Tinder account.
Oh, yeah. All of those are just like, just put in your information and, we'll work our magic to hack any account. But it just takes all your information.
Well, or they do the thing where they're like my husband thinks we're about to stream a show together, but I'm putting his Tinder account on the TV. And I'm like, that ain't real. And the husband's always like, where'd you get that? Where do you think I did that? He's a terrible actor. Those are all poorly done.
So much use out of the not interested button on Instagram lately.
Oh, really?
Between the staged pranks and skits and stuff, and then also, for some reason, in the Instagram algorithm, I guess posts get more attention if you do use this AI caption that talks about footsteps generating electricity in Japan.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
I need a not interested button on TikTok because, boy, you watch one TikTok and they think, okay, this guy likes bagpipes, and you get like 70 bagpipe videos. I mean, it's crazy.
What we didn't know is this guy's business is named One Wife, One Mistress, and a Truck.
It's a long punchline. Hoodies and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services we perform is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Holloway has a path back to Alabama's team, the first Alabama player in the portal, and Nate Oats' new contract coming up. National Championship night in Indy after crowning champions yesterday, including Auburn winning the NIT. We'll talk about basketball going on all over the place. Will anybody take that North Carolina job? Well, we'll start. I don't know if we're going to make the decision on the air or not. I think it's already been made, but we got the bracket challenge update. One more Shunnarah showdown tonight. We'll do that on our platforms. National championship game tonight. Because of Michigan's win, LT got a financial windfall privately. I got a emotional windfall, lost money because I bet the other side just in case. I wanted to win money at Calshi with Arizona, but I wanted to win the bracket challenge.
You made sure that you won that bracket by doing that. My God, a 30-point game. Like, I never saw that. I mean, you think about Arizona had back-to-back losses in the regular season to two really good teams by 3 and 4 points. And that game, I can't even explain it.
Plus, when you turn it on, I just get back from playing golf. I missed the Illinois UConn game, and I make it back playing golf. I grabbed a little dinner, and I'm sitting down, and I turn on the TV, and Yaxel Linden, Michigan was up. I think it was like 10-1 or something, but Yax, of course, already on the bench with 2 fouls, and I'm like, oh, my God.
2 fouls in 5 seconds.
Yeah, here we go. Yax is on the bench, and then he comes out and, tears every ligament in his body, it looks like.
Well, Yax plays 14 minutes. Elliot Cadeau couldn't have been worse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Cadeau was 5 of 17, had 6 turnovers, and they're still up 30 against Arizona.
I think he was 2 of 16 from 3 or something like that.
Yeah, so
insanity.
It shows you, but Mara has been so good around the rim. I mean, there's not an answer for him now. There's a lot of length with Arizona, there was a lot of length with Arizona, so I was a little surprised that he had the game that he had. But give Dusty May a lot of credit, man. Made him shoot from the outside. I couldn't buy a basket.
They
that
packed
was
it in,
dominant.
man. They packed it in and forced it, and a lot of that was they called Arizona basically Gonzaga on steroids. That was the way they played, and so Dusty May, who watched that game in person, really overplayed in the conversation.
In fact, he was scouting
Dusty
in person.
May's out there scouting in person. Bruce Pearl had a thought. Charles Barkley had a thought. Tracy Wolfson got the inside information from Dusty May on why he was out there, but that game plan they had on Arizona, just to pack it in and to try to make that. They don't shoot a lot of threes, and they said, shoot them. Go ahead. Try to shoot them. Try to hit those outside shots.
And they shoot 37% from the floor. They have 14 turnovers. We mentioned this last week. The winner of this game, if they go on to win the tournament, especially Michigan, and I know we'll get to this at some point, but we're talking about a team now that has scored 90-plus in all 5 tournament games, first time that's ever been done, and they've beaten all 5 opponents by double digits. If they close this thing out, and their best against UConn's best, Michigan wins the game by double digits.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's crazy to watch. And this Dusty May, second team he's taken to the NCAA Final Four.
That's right.
People forget that sometimes.
Florida Atlantic, Brown.
Look, I don't argue that the best coach in basketball is actually coaching at tonight's game, and he's on the other side of the sideline, and Dan Hurley. But this Dusty May, man, he is climbing this ladder quick.
Yeah,
this
by
guy
the way,
can
that came. I don't know how many people remember that game 3 years ago, but it came down to a final possession against San Diego State. They almost played for the national championship
at FAU. This guy can flat coach like it. Look, he's been great all year, but you watch in the Sweet 16, Alabama. Alabama, Nate Oats baits him into Alabama's game in the first half, and Alabama has the lead. And May at halftime is like, nope, we ain't playing that way in the second half, and he changes the game. And Alabama had their worst offensive half of the season against Michigan, which, by the way, is as close as anybody's played them in this tournament, to Lance's point.
And that was 13. That's been their closest game.
Yeah, that's been their closest game. And 13, it was a closer game at the half, obviously. But then, just every step of the way in this tournament, Dusty May's like, okay, let me just tell you, here's how we're going to play this game. And every time he's able to dictate it. That's what's crazy, is nobody's able to get them out of what Dusty May wants the game to be.
That's what Dan Hurley does best.
It is.
And this is a guy that has an opportunity to win 3 in the last 4 years. He would be the only active coach in college basketball with 3. And I think we start creeping up. I don't want to say Nick Saban territory yet, but 3 in 4 years is nuts.
No, they're starting to talk about Best since Wooden, easily. Talking about John Wooden category if Hurley wins it tonight. We'll break down that game coming up. We'll hear from both coaches who had a great moment in a CBS interview that CBS put out where the person doing the interview baited them into doing the head bump like Hurley did with Roger Ayers. But you guys are talking about the championship on the court. I was talking about the bracket challenge,
the real championship.
That's what I wanted to start with.
It has been decided. I was pulling hard for Michigan.
Yeah,
like even Jack came in and checked the score. He's like, "Oh damn." He was like, "So I guess you're driving an Uber," and I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, but
I mean, are you?
But my wallet's going to be heavier.
Let's look at the standings, and then we'll.
We got it up there like breaking news, like we just called it election.
There we go. So I won this thing. I don't think I've ever won it.
Oh,
outright.
I think you have.
I don't think I've ever won
everybody's won it.
I don't
know if he's won it.
Outright?
No, we've only had second and third being punished like 2 or 3 times over the 17 years.
Well, I think it's only been one other time the second and third's been, and that was when I had to do stand-up comedy, and I always bring up I tied and lost the tiebreaker with you that time.
Well, see, there you go. You finished first then.
No, I lost the tiebreaker. That's why they're tiebreakers. I don't think I've ever won it because I truthfully always play for second. I just try to. Truthfully, it's like,
how do you play for second? You're picking 63 games.
I don't want to throw my whole plan out here, but truthfully, it's like there's a bear. And I just try to outrun Brown. It's been my plan for 17 years.
Or me, because Brown said he could outrun a bear over 100 yards. We talked about that.
I could outrun this bear.
In this bracket challenge, I've always just tried to beat Brown, who usually finishes last.
I have. I had been better of late, you'll have to admit. Yeah. I was better on this platform than I was terrestrial radio.
You really
I was
were.
only 2 points up behind Brown.
That is correct, Tyler, yes. Wow. That is correct. I noticed that.
So I don't.
If he'd have been dead last, could we have made him do a calendar while eating 9 hot dogs and 9 beers?
Probably should have.
I wish you had been a part of the backroom challenge.
There's only 2 things that I dread about this. First, getting the car registered to become an Uber driver. I don't know what the process is like.
Yeah. Why should Maddie be punished?
And then the other thing is, wasting whatever amount of time that is on this.
Yeah. I mean, you remember, I got updated on this when I thought I was going to be doing the Uber. When I finished second, I was told that it's 10 to get 5. Is that what it is? You got to do 10 rides to get 5 good ones? Is that what y'all decided?
I thought it was just 10 rides, and we're going to try to get the best content out of the 10.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was 10 total.
10 total, and we'll just see what content we get out of the 10.
Yeah, and don't we have... I might even be able to set this up for A-Day with Morgan Wallen in Tuscaloosa. I might be able to.
Lance, that's next Saturday, though.
I don't think it would be tough to turn around that quickly.
It cannot be that hard to get.
How hard, Tyler?
Uber.
How hard to get
registered? Yeah.
You could get registered same day.
Oh, same day. So
I have been in some Ubers with some Uber drivers where it can't be difficult.
You have a license.
Yes.
You have
insurance.
You have a social security number.
Yep.
You have a bank account with a routing number.
Yep, I do. Yep.
All those things.
How about insurance?
Yes.
I like the way you made that not necessarily a deal breaker.
How about insurance? Do we have insurance?
There's been plenty of drivers driving around without insurance, getting in wrecks, and then getting stuck with massive bills.
Just throwing you the keys to the car and running away.
Maddie got rear-ended a couple of weeks ago. No insurance.
An Uber guy or
no. Okay. I think the Uber guy's got to have it. But that's the only thing, the pain in the ass. But I would think the content would be pretty good with the first ever concert at Bryant Denny, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Morgan Wallen concert at Bryant Denny. The Uber in that situation is going to be really, really good.
By the way, he released 3 new songs over the weekend.
Yeah,
that's a
shocker. They're going to be hits.
So but I could knock out 10 pretty easily around there, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. No, you're going to go after concert or before?
I was just going to go full day.
10.
Full day.
It'll take a while though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if I go full day, if I go for people pregame, if I get down there at noon and go until concert, probably wouldn't even have to deal with the after concert.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think you might get better content after concert.
I agree.
But, no, I don't think there's any doubt.
Oh, there'll be people drinking though.
But I don't know if I want to cash in on that 300, the urban legend
the
of
vomit charge.
Yeah, somebody that throws up in your car. That would be the worst thing because you'll never be able to get that out. But do we have a big event coming up in Birmingham over the next month that might even be better? I don't know. Didn't Jelly Roll and
Zach Bryan's rolling down in Auburn.
Gucci Mane's coming to town.
Gucci Mane.
Stallions opener.
But Post Malone and Jelly Roll, I think, are protective.
They
right?
They are. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
So that might be a good one.
Yeah. Do you know when that is?
No, Talladega be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know how many people Uber in and out of Talladega.
Yeah.
though.
I don't want to
See,
get stuck in
that's
that
a big
traffic.
That's what
Uber
you got to
event.
be careful when you start selecting which Uber ride to accept.
Oh, I know. I'm not a
I mean,
professional.
Do you accept them, or you have to accept them? I mean, because
No.
you don't
No,
want.
I'm never going to be back. If I pull up and I don't like the look, just keep going.
So I never did like the pick somebody up and have them ride in my car. But I assume it would work the same as Uber Eats, where it shows you the miles for the trip.
Okay, that's
you
why
accept
I don't
it.
want you to get caught with. I've got to drive back to Birmingham.
Yeah, I'm taking you. I need a ride to Atlanta.
So that was like, I was in an Uber in Vegas when a guy, it dinged, and he's like, oh my gosh. I was like, is that a bad one? He goes, yeah, it's a 2-hour one-way drive. And he said, it's going to pay me $200, but I'm not going to do it. And I was, so you know that, or at least the guy in Vegas did. So I
Okay.
assume any Uber driver would.
By the way, 200 is
Okay.
not worth that.
That's what I told him. I was
no.
like, man, why would anybody accept that?
Because they don't get all that. Well, I guess he gets 200.
Because some people are driving under an account that isn't theirs.
Oh, okay.
One of the big scams with ride-sharing apps and food delivery apps is one person has an account.
You
and
listening to
then
this?
I just got this text. You got the same text. Read it live on the air.
That's
That's a pretty good one. April
no names?
17th and 18th.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, I got that too.
Oh, widespread.
Widespread.
Yeah. Now, that'll make your car smell.
It will, and that's the problem. Is it smells like a zoo down there.
All right, you
mean,
got widespread April 17 and 18, and the one you're talking about is May 26. If you did 5 and 5,
Yeah, but body odor is something
2
you can
days.
control, and
Oh, you have to do it in
widespread
one day?
fans, a lot of them don't care anything about controlling it.
Yeah.
does he have to do them all in one day? I'm
No,
just saying.
no. It's up to him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
It's,
No,
If you
we
did-
said 10 over a month.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you did 5 and 5 at those two concerts, that's two different groups of people. We might get some.
No,
it's
I
also
gotta
2
ask-
days of punishment. Why
It
would you
is,
do
it
that?
is that.
I
yes.
got to ask you guys, though. So it's me by myself, but how am I doing the filming?
Well,
One of them is going to set you up on that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
either
if
one of us is going to have to ride with you.
I would love that,
or-
but I think that's going to freak somebody out. Now, in a situation like widespread, they probably don't care.
I mean, if I was a girl and I walk up to my Uber and it's 2 guys with a camera, I'm not getting in the car.
He's got a point.
Yep,
Yeah,
we really do.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Scott's got a GoPro I think we could use,
Yeah, we
potentially.
could
Just
we
put
could
it on my
mount
head like a
GoPro
miner?
and
Yep.
Make sure we get some releases.
Yeah. Maybe Tyler rides over with you and hangs out at,
He's home base.
like at a location.
No, let's just put a blanket on you and put you in the floorboard of the front seat. Every now and then peek up, see what
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
content we can get from that.
If you're using your vehicle from Hoover Toyota, he could lay in the back.
Plenty
That's
of
true.
room.
Nobody ever see him.
Plenty of room.
That's true.
Yeah. And you can be packing, and you can be sort of security for Lance.
That's right. We learned Tyler.
But
packs it.
is a Land Cruiser big enough to do an XL?
It might be. Let me check on that
Yeah.
real quick.
Do you have a third row seat?
I think you got to have a third row to be an
Yeah,
XL.
you got to be able to got to be able to comfortably get 6 or more.
I mean, I could throw some lounge
Some-
chairs
some
in the back.
lounge
Hey guys, I just found out Uber has a record my ride feature in the app. So I don't know. According to what I just Googled, there may be a feature in the app that actually records the ride for you.
There is no way that they would let you keep that.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being
It could be a safety thing, though.
Well, I get it's a safety thing, but it's for Uber to have. There's no way that they would give it to somebody personal.
I've taken plenty of Ubers where they've got that little thing under their rearview mirror that's recording the ride. Now,
Yeah.
they're not doing it for publishing. They're doing it for their own protection. I get that. So it happens a lot.
Yeah, but I want to do the
know.
cash cab.
I know. It's probably
Yeah.
going to.
Oh, we're gonna have to have a release form.
Yes.
You're gonna need to sign this.
We're going
by the
to
way.
need to be on the phone with our legal department
And you
today.
know what? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, I ain't signing that release.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of people getting out.
What are you going to say? Get out of my car?
Well, yeah, he's not going to sign the release.
I can say this now. I was playing the game saying I thought the calendar was the worst one. If I had finished second, I was going to choose the calendar.
Were you really?
I was.
I was considering it.
Because of the just the social awkwardness. It becomes so.
Now, yours might actually be better with your social awkwardness.
Well,
The
it
content.
just would drive me crazy.
I know.
I'd be worried about it until it was over with.
Oh, I think it'll be relatively easy. I could be completely wrong. Once
For
it
you,
gets set up.
obviously. I mean, you talk to everybody. I mean, it would drive me crazy just leading up to it.
But what would be good is if you get somebody. I mean, I guess in Lakeview, everybody's going to sign the release, right? Everybody's
I don't know.
drunk.
You got a lot of drunk people.
I would think so.
Well, I mean, at that point, you've waited a long time for your ride. You're going to sign it
Just to get
9
home.
out of 10 just to be like, by the time we get another Uber, blah, 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 blah.
Can you see me?
There is no doubt you're going to walk away with a 1 rating.
Hey.
You will not be a 5-star rated driver by the end of the night.
Does that affect
what do we do if he gets poorly rated and gets kicked off the app before he completes the 10?
I don't think that's possible.
If that happens, I am willing to say that is.
Oh, if I get kicked off the app, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I think that's paid.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
paid in full.
We're going to have some good video of it if Lance is getting kicked off the
Trust me,
app.
I'm purposely not going to do that. Now, there's situations, I guess, that
you never know.
we could probably get it to that point, but will it affect my personal passenger rate?
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Probably not.
I would think that would be a different rating.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know.
Should we spray some liquid fart spray in the back seat so that way
A couple of great sponsors of our
stinky
show.
ride?
A couple of great sponsors of our show. Jeff, by the way, jumps in and says, according to Uber rules, you're not allowed to have a ride-along passenger like your wife or a friend.
Oh, there you go.
Which is why they usually say, you don't mind if my wife's with us when people.
Yeah, you guys have had that though, right? I've had it a couple. It's the strangest thing, and I'm like, I guess not.
I don't care.
I don't dock them for their Uber rating, but man, I think it is really strange.
I'm just rolling 8 blocks. If you can just get me back to my downtown Atlanta hotel, I'd appreciate it. Our friends at Hoover Toyota, though, Lance, if you're lucky enough to catch him at one of these concerts, will be rolling you around in a brand new Toyota from Hoover.
Yeah, when I first got this, I was like, Bullet and Chili aren't going to be able to ride in this, and now they have. They seem to be in that damn thing every day now. So I never thought that Bullet and Chili would be passengers. I never thought that it would be used as an Uber. The versatility of the Toyota, though, reliable, safe, holds its value. Got my daughter one back in 24. Got mine just a few months ago. Hoover Toyota, serving Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia with new used car financing, auto service, genuine Toyota parts. They've been perfecting the art of customer service for over 20 years now. They offer that red carpet program. Gives you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with their referral program. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Get NC Scott, Harold, Kim, located conveniently right there, Highway 150, or view their inventory and great pricing today at hoovertoyota.com.
If you're looking for a bank that plays on your team, we talk a lot of teamwork on this show. Central State Bank is a member of your team. Why? They're a hometown bank. Why does that matter? Because when people are making decisions about the dreams you're chasing, whether it's building a business, buying a car, it's people that live in your community. They work in your community. They go to church. They go to school. They go to the ball fields in your community. That is why you want to deal with a community bank. It is people you know, not some suit making a decision in an entirely different city. For more than 100 years of trusted service, that's what Central State Bank has done. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
West Virginia beats SEC Oklahoma to win the crown, and then Auburn wins the NIT, the first in school history, the fourth in SEC history, 92-86 over Tulsa in overtime. Amazing shot by Kevin Overton with 8 seconds left, tying it to send it to overtime. The
tough loss, by the way. I had the points, Tulsa plus 5.5. The unbelievable comeback. Wasn't watching, keeping up with them on my phone.
Yeah.
22-2 run. Auburn led by 17 at the half, 20 points at one point in the second half, and their 22-2 run by Tulsa over a 5-minute span gave them the lead. Auburn wins it. But all of this, to get to Stephen Pearl talking about the future, because that's what all of this was about. Cutting down the net in the NIT is value because you chose to play in the tournament and you won the tournament. So great moment there for the kids who played in it and for Stephen Pearl, who's a first-year coach. The fact of the matter is you beat South Alabama, Seattle, Nevada, Illinois State, and Tulsa. When you played the schedule Auburn played, those 5 games would not have made your top 15 list of toughest opponents. Stephen Pearl, though, found great value in this run for this team. Here's the Auburn head coach afterwards.
Lesser character kids, lesser character young men, would have folded it up and, just got into the offseason. And this group didn't. They used this as an opportunity to compete. They used this as an opportunity to gain some positive momentum going into an offseason, an important offseason for all of us. And I'm incredibly grateful as their coach. They were put in a really difficult situation. Coach ultimately retiring, and these guys all decided to stay. And then, we don't make the tournament, and, they all could have packed it in, and they didn't. And it's just, for me, I'm just thankful that they're getting some reward for all the effort that they put into this season. They stayed consistent, they stayed right, and, we had a really good basketball team. And I feel like we showed that over these last 5 games.
Well, I will say this. If you're going to play in this tournament, win it, right?
Yep.
Like, there was nothing good that could come out of it unless, I guess, you win it. So I'm shocked, by the way, that you were able to get these guys together for this little run here, although the opponents weren't great.
No, it was the worst part of Auburn's schedule, honestly, to Jim's point. I mean, it's the worst part of the schedule Auburn's played all year.
But you've still got to buy in to be able to win this.
You do, because you could have tanked it and not wanted to play, and Keyshawn Murphy obviously didn't. He left the team.
There was a moment in that South Alabama game you thought it was going to go really, really wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, they were down 10.
Yeah. But I'm with Lance. Look, nobody's bagged on this more than me. I think we all know that, right? That video from a couple weeks ago resurfaced last night, and Auburn fans had a fresh run at it, which is great. I don't mind that. But nobody's bagged on the NIT more than me. I said I never would have accepted it. But to Lance's point, once you've accepted, at least go win it. You may as well just win the thing if you're going to play in it. Now, what do you get from it is the question we'll speculate about. I don't know that we'll ever know, but we'll speculate about it. And it'll be discussed next year perhaps. What do you get from it? That'll be, I guess, what the future somehow tells us. I would say this. I will, to what Stephen just said, it is a credit that you didn't pack it in and just, once you got there, you played. My concern would be, why were you able to do that in the NIT and you couldn't do it in February?
Well,
I needed you doing this in February, not in the NIT.
Some of that was opponent-driven.
100% it was.
I think Mississippi State would have a chance to beat these 5 teams. I don't know if they would beat all 5 of them. I think Ole Miss would have a chance to beat all those.
Oklahoma would have.
Yeah, those are 2. If you'd lost one of these games, it would have been Auburn's worst loss of the year, in my opinion. I mean, of the games
I think I'm agreeing
on their
with you.
schedule, there's 16 losses.
If you lost to Seattle or South Alabama or Illinois State, that's your worst loss of the year.
They played everybody. It was in the final. They played all these teams that were playing for the national championship. But South Alabama, Seattle, Nevada, Illinois State, Tulsa, if they'd lost any of those games during the regular season, would have been like, oh, no, that was a horrible loss.
You don't fly this banner, though, right?
They will, I think, but I wouldn't.
I don't know, man.
I've got a stance on that. I wouldn't, but I'm sure they will.
I would not. I mean, again, I think it's great they won it because they played in it, but I wouldn't.
I've been told, shut up, I don't have an arena, but I would not fly to my arena.
My buddy, who was a season ticket holder at 2 different sections of Neville, went to every home NIT game, took his daughter saying, hey, I want to watch the game with you, but I don't want to go to Indianapolis, to keep him from driving up for the championship. I understand his roster, and I'll give him a B grade on this season. The NIT was good for him as a coach. If we have the NIL budget, I think we do. I'm still very bullish on Stephen moving forward.
For the record, NIT or not, I agree with the last thing he said. Even if they'd have said no to the NIT and walked away with an NIL budget, I also am bullish on Stephen. I think the guy will be fine. I didn't like taking the NIT. I don't know that it's going to benefit you moving forward. But I do think if you can get the NIL in line and they can make the right decisions, which they did not do on this roster. Stephen did not make the right decisions on this roster. And by the way,
he still had Bruce there. That was, and he helped build the roster. That's what I've been trumpeting during the Final Four runs. The people are the anti-Stephen get the job people. I was like, you don't really know what you're talking about. Stephen's a big reason why a lot of these players are there. So he had a big hand in having these players there, but it didn't have total control. I'm excited to see what total control of the roster looks like with Stephen Purdy.
Yeah, I think Auburn's program is to the point where I would disagree with your Auburn friend. If you miss the NCAA tournament, you cannot have a B. That would be where Auburn's program is. Now, where Auburn's program was on a Tony Barbie or Jeff Lebo, maybe I graded a little bit different. But where Auburn's program has gotten, and this, by the way, sounds like a shot at Auburn. This is a compliment to Auburn's program. Their program is to the point where if you miss the NCAA tournament, I would not give you a B. I don't care what you do in the NIT.
Oh,
it's like Nick Saban years at Alabama in football when they would go to when they were at the Capital One Bowl.
That's right. Could not be a B.
No, this is a D.
I might go a C.
I would go D.
I'm going to go C, just giving first-year head coach a little bit of grace with the C. If this were Bruce Pearl, I'd give it a D.
No, I'm giving it grace, being a first year.
So you would
head
give it
coach.
an F to Bruce Pearl, a D to Stephen
With
Pearl.
the talent that they had, not making the NCAA tournament, absolutely.
See, I question the talent they had. I mean,
well, that's back on them.
I mean, that's 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's a failure of coaching.
You have
But
10 newcomers. All it takes is to miss on.
No, but Hall and Murphy they're good, solid players. And then Pettiford, it's their fault you can't get that out of Pettiford. But, I mean, the good news is you look at the last 4 NIT champions and what they did the year after.
It's a mixed bag. I've looked at it.
I think Keyshawn Hall, in my opinion, this is my opinion, Keyshawn Hall is good at 50% of the game of basketball. And he is a...
What, offense is the 50%?
He is a reluctant defender.
He's a traffic cone.
No doubt. But I would say that he is a good, solid SEC college player.
He would not be the kind of guy I'd always want on my team because he is a reluctant defender.
He's a traffic cone on defense.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
And, I mean, that just becomes frustrating, if you're – and
by the way,
there are people like that on every basketball
Well, they had
team.
a lot of those on their defense. I was being somewhat facetious. 2022 Xavier, don't know what they did the next year.
I've looked.
North Texas 2023, 2024 Seton Hall, and last year was Chattanooga.
Yeah, Xavier made the NCAA tournament. I think they made a Sweet 16 run the next year. I just looked during the transfer portal.
2022 is sort of the transition year. 2023 on would be the...
I did post-COVID because we were living in a transfer portal world. You did not have a COVID tournament. Off the top of my head, I don't have this in front of me. Memphis, I think, went to the round of 32. Xavier went to the Sweet 16. Seton Hall had a horrible year the next year. Chattanooga had a horrible year the next year. And North Texas, I think, was about the same year over year. And I don't think they made the NIT the next year. So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can glean anything from so-and-so wins this tournament. It's always a step forward. It is not. There are times it is.
I don't know what the roster is going to look like. I don't think any of us do. But the expectation next year is going to be get to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I would say this. You get of the regular players, 4. I'm gonna say 4.5 is the over/under of the guys coming back, and we'll see about Pettiford, who is probably is the highest paycheck of the guys you have that you got to keep.
Yeah,
and
I would go under. I think 4 is the number.
Portal opens tomorrow, and Auburn's going to be busy in the portal just like they were last year.
So you think,
like everybody is,
Jovic, Sebastian Williams-Adams, Overton, and then who's your 4th?
I don't think it's Pettiford, but I'm just
Elijah Freeman for me.
Okay, that's 4.
And then Pettiford's the swing guy for me. Yeah. That's why I put it at 4.5.
All right. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah. I'll say 3 or 4.
I will say, though, at the end of the regular season, it felt like Auburn fans were like, let's make that number 0. So the NIT did change some Auburn fans' feelings. I could tell you that.
That's why they're fans, fanatics.
That's right. That's the way fans do.
Change. All right. To what happened in Tuscaloosa over the weekend, brought to you by our friends at Culver's Brownie. Tell us about those great folks.
Welcome to Delicious at Culver's. Whether you are trying to forget a bad loss or celebrate a big win, Culver's can help you do it. Those juicy butter burgers are right there to celebrate that win. Those crispy crinkle-cut fries, the gooey golden cheese curds, and you can cap it off with that great creamy frozen custard right there with our friends at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Win at Birmingham. Hit Stadium Trace on Highway 150 right there near the Hoover Met. Hit Tattersall Park near Greystone on Highway 280, the 2 great Birmingham locations of Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
First Alabama player into the portal, Taylor Bol Bowen, 6'10 junior forward who came in from Florida State, averaged 6 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, is now in the portal. He's a Rock Nation Sports client, and he rolls into the portal again. This could be one of those that is choosing to go in the portal or may have been door open. Hey, you want to go in the portal?
Yes.
Could have been one of those things.
You know what opens tomorrow?
That's been one of the guys you've said often that if he goes in the portal, you wouldn't be really screaming trying to keep him. Is that fair?
I don't think I would. I mean, would you guys?
No, I don't think you got out of him what you thought you were going to.
Yeah.
This was a miss by Nate Oats. Yeah. I mean, look, that's you're not going to be 100% in the portal.
I'll go back to my
opinion. But I do think
he's
got a lot of upside.
Yeah.
I'll go back to my opinion. I don't think he was neither the offensive or the defensive player that I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No,
when
I
he
would
came
agree.
in. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty bad, Jim.
Yeah.
He was not the offensive or defensive player.
He
thought
played a
was gonna
little
be.
offense and a little defense. I just don't think
Yeah.
he was as with his size and his so athletic. I thought he was going to be a lot more at both ends of the floor.
And I don't know the answer, so I'm throwing it out there. But much like first-round picks, the majority don't work out. Like a lot of these top-end NIL guys don't work out.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he
it's-
was top end.
Yeah,
but
nobody's going to be 100% in the portal. Did Nate miss on him? Yes, Nate Oats and coaching staff missed on him, but that's going to happen in the portal era.
Aiden Holloway, by the way, gets his campus ban reversed, so he's able now to enroll for fall classes, which his lawyer says he will do, and he hopes to rejoin the team next fall. That's going to be in Nate Oats' court now. Speaking of Nate Oats, he gets a new contract announced by Yay Alabama and Greg Byrne over the weekend. According to those that cover this, no details released yet until the Board of Trustees approved the deal, but according to those college basketball insiders, this will make Nate Oats a top 5 college basketball employee, contract-wise. Just on research, number 1 in the country last year was $8.3 million a year from Bill Self. The number 5 guy was Mick Cronin, who made $6.1 million at UCLA. So
that guy complains a lot for that kind of money.
That's going to put Nate Oats above $6.1 million, according to the sources on this new contract.
Well, if win or lose, I think Dan Hurley's going to be your highest paid coach.
Probably so, yeah. But
he deserves to be. Dusty May's going to be right there, too.
Yeah.
So, how does that trigger? Because I bet May's not a 5 guy yet.
Yeah, I would say that the way it all read, I don't think it's one of those clauses that says
it's going to continue.
Yeah, whatever is the top 5, he'll be a top 5
But it's top
guy.
5 right now.
Top 5 right now.
When you sign the deal, you're a top 5 coach. I can't help it if May wins and Michigan gives him a big bump or Hurley gets a big bump or whatever.
This is not surprising with the jobs that are open right now and the fear that Nate Oats could possibly take one of those jobs. And, North Carolina is the one that everybody's kind of.
Bleacher Report says Nate actually turned down North Carolina. They say
believe
Brad
it.
Stevens, Dusty May, TJ Otzelberger, Tommy Lloyd, then Nate Oats all said no to it.
I can't believe Otzelberger would turn that down.
It's a tough no to stay in Ames, Iowa. I would agree with you.
But just for the record, 6 straight NCAA tournaments for Alabama. The last time or the only time they did that was 1981 to 87. And they have won the SEC, both the regular season and the tournament in 2021, 2023, Final Four in 2024, Elite Eight in 2025, couple of Sweet 16 bookends there. 7 seasons, 170 and 73 against the type of schedules that he's thrown out there.
If we were jotting down top 5 coaches right now actively, I mean, he's going to be close. Yeah, I don't know if he makes the top 5, but he's definitely top 10.
Easily top 10.
Yeah, I have no
easily top
problem
10.
with him getting paid top 5 money.
Yeah, I mean, I think real quickly go Hurley, Self, May,
and then the discussion begins.
Yeah, discussion. I mean, Shire probably, but yeah, he's in that next
Yeah,
group.
and I mean, you start
Golden Shire.
Yeah, Golden Shire.
Mark, let's not forget Mark Few.
Izzo, Few. I mean, he's going to be in the bottom half of the top 10, but he's going to be in the top 10, and you've never been close. As great as Wimp was never, I don't think, ever discussed as a top 10 national coach. So, again, we've talked about it. This is the golden age of Alabama basketball. So you stay in the golden age as long as you can. Reason you're in the golden age is Nate Oats. So you keep him there as long as you can. The key here is, what is the buyout?
Yeah, I want to see the details. And I was talking with Brown. He was talking about, does the buyout go back up to where it was $18 million this year? Was going to on April 1st go down to $11 million and then down from there. And I said it'll be interesting to see if the buyout has gone down, because he has shown over and over again, I'm committed to Alabama until I'm not, and $11 million is not going to keep anybody that wants him. Kentucky, North Carolina, the last 2 goes at him. $11 million is not going to keep him away. $18 million wasn't going to keep Kentucky away, because that's what his deal was.
Well, and if you're spending more than that on a roster for a year, why would you not take a head coach that you believe, is going to put you in a Dan Hurley-like situation where you're winning championships?
So I think Oates' contract, we'll see what the buyout is, and it could very much start reflecting what Nick Saban's was, which was 0 buyout at some point. I'm going to stay. If you want me to stay, I'm going to stay. But when I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave.
Yeah. If I were Greg Byrne, I'd be willing to do buyout is 0. We've got a non-state of Michigan buyout. 49 other states, your buyout's zero. State of Michigan, your buyout's $20 million. Because I think right now, isn't that the only one you're concerned about? Look, Kansas is probably going to come open in the next couple of years. I don't know that
if you could do a 3-state buyout, you probably would go North Carolina, Kentucky, and Michigan.
And Michigan. You leave Kansas hanging out there, when Self retires. I don't know that they would come after Nate Oats.
If I was Nate Oats, it'd be interesting to see, listen, no buyout for the NBA. I don't care what the buyout is for college.
I mean, I do think that that's the obvious move. Yeah. Now, look, if you had an opportunity for Kentucky a couple of years ago and Carolina this year, I mean, you're not going to – I don't think you would take Kansas.
It's going to take an amazing job to get you out of there for sure.
Two things quickly here. One, don't forget the Shunnarah Showdown happening tonight. We'll tell you about Alexander Shunnarah throughout the show, but the Shunnarah Showdown happening this evening. Which game did you choose tonight, Brooks? Did you go that UConn-Michigan game is probably a good choice.
Yeah, we'll use that one. You want to?
Yeah, that's what I went with.
Okay. Michigan 7.5. Is that where we are right now?
It's been going back and forth between 6.5 and 7. That's a big number for a
team
that has won 18 consecutive Sweet 16 or better games.
We do this all the time in football. How often are you going to get UConn catching 7.5 in basketball?
Hey, and listen, we'll talk about the game, the injuries, the non-injury reports, and all that. But this is your last chance. If you win tonight, you get into the drawing. The prizes are
bottle of Pappy, $1,000, $500, and $250. We're paying out our top 4.
Yeah, for the record, if you finish first, you get the choice between the Pappy and the $1,000, and then if it'll shuttle on down from there. But yeah, that's the way that's going to work. And you can just go to nextroundlive.com. The game is going to be right there. If you've entered all of them, doesn't matter. Enter this one too. If you win, you're in the drawing.
All right, so that's happening tonight. You can also play the game and take a position with our friends at Kalshi, which I use to reverse landmine my bracket win. I was either going to make some coin on Kalshi or win the bracket. And I lost some coin on Kalshi, won the bracket, which I was very happy about. Glad to throw that money away right there at our friends at Kalshi. You can take positions, pick a winner tonight in that game. Kalshi, promo code TNR.
Yeah, I had a back and forth Saturday because I just continue to double down on Illinois, thinking that they would be able to come back. I did have Michigan in the nightcap, but Kalshi is available in all 50 states, legally available.
The best part of that is what you're talking about is you don't even have to pre-play the game. You can sit and let the game start and get a feel for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jump in anytime. Or jump out anytime.
Like at the NIT last night, if you really thought Tulsa was going to make a run, you could have gotten a lot of points at one point. And it's been setting easy at the end.
And, and again, there is a way, as Brown said, to get out at any point you want. I mean, legally available to trade in all 50 states. First thing you got to do is download Kalshi, put in that code TNR.
That's your national championship game. Michigan at 74%, UConn at 27%.
Yeah.
7.5 is the point spread.
UConn's going to have to play a hell of a game.
Oh, they are.
Is that number that moves on the side, is that people live position, taking live positions right there? Somebody just put 1,148 on UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. You can play any amount you want.
That's right.
You want a position for $10, you take a position for $10. You want a position for $10,000, take a position for $10,000.
Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app, as Lance was saying, code TNR. Get you $10 on your first $10 position. It is legal in all 50 states. Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app.
All blue, by the way. I haven't seen a yellow one make a bet yet.
Uh-oh.
Is that color coordinated, Scott? Have you ever noticed that on the side?
The live bets, I have not noticed that until right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's color coordinated because if it was, that 74% would sure as hell be dropping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was color coordinated. I was like, man, somebody's hammering.
They're all in right now on UConn.
Yeah. Okay, 74, stay in there. Kalshi, promo code TNR. And you can make plays, get a little insider information, lanceslog.com, where Lance had was it a 5-0 Friday I saw on the next round account?
5-0 Saturday.
Okay.
And Major League Baseball, we have absolutely been crushing it. Again, we got a split this past weekend. So in the tournament, we're 19-14. In the NCAA tournament, we're killing Major League Baseball. We will have more Major League Baseball up and available side in total of tonight's national championship game. Jump on board and win with us. Free play every single day at lanceslog.com. It is all brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality, legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
All right, at some point, for those that are asking me, we will figure out the 12 pictures of Brown that will be part of the online calendar.
DTF St. Louis is first one I'm going with, right?
What month is that?
If you're going to cover your junk.
What month is that?
We got you Indiana Jones with a bunch of snakes on you. Not showing your snake, though.
Yeah. What month would snakes be? Usually see them.
Maybe spring, right? When they're coming out of hibernation a little bit.
We got April showers. It could be May. It's May snakes. It'd be better than May flowers.
But I just envisioned 4th of July. You know, we got one of those fire hydrants that's shooting water up, and you've got your fire suit on with suspenders.
It's going to be easy to do, yeah.
Eating a rocket pop.
Yeah.
I love we're playing this like we got an unlimited photo budget. We're just going to bust open a fire hydrant somewhere.
Hey, we're going to talk what Kalen DeBoer saw in the second scrimmage for Alabama in just a second. This part of the show being brought to you by One Man and a Toolbox. Back with us this week after so many people have been commenting about the new bourbon room up here that you guys film Bama and Bourbon in.
Yeah, look, simple jobs around the house. You need some painting done. You need some drywalling done. You got to hang some TVs. You got to do ceiling fans. Our friends at One Man in the Toolbox, they perform the handyman services for homes and commercial properties in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, surrounding areas. I've had them at the house multiple times. We've had them up here. They do regular repairs and maintenance, also small project renovations and updates. They've got multiple technicians with different skill sets. They can tackle most any item in your home. Very important when you make the phone call for the free estimate at 205-823-2111. Whether you talk to Jessica or Jay, make sure you mention the next round. $25 discount for the first hour of service. For more information on everything they do, go to onemanandatoolbox.com.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy Alexander Shunnarah. Shunnarah Trial Attorneys brings you the Shunnarah Spotlight every single day. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, the place to go for any legal needs you have. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. They have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values. They are integrity, mastery, passion, and success. Again, I'll say it. Any legal issue you have, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
Coming out of Alabama's second scrimmage of the spring, leading into A-Day, Kalen DeBoer on the quarterbacks, Austin Mack and Keelan Russell.
They split it up pretty even. That was the goal. I'm not sure how it exactly ended. I know there was a comment close to the end that I caught where it was close and we just trying to finish it out that way. But they've been splitting it. And I would say today wasn't their sharpest day. And a lot of it's what we've been talking with offensive line. I think there's, just getting in sync with guys, the reps that they've had a lot. Maybe even the things that we have as part of our base offense that we've done now for 2 years here. You can see everyone being in sync, and when you're playing with confidence, you're going to rip it with confidence. And there's some of the new stuff that maybe isn't even things we've had until this year or done as much of until this spring. You can see that we struggled with it. So I'd say it wasn't up to the standard that they've had. But there's no doubt that, again, if we had to play a game, there's some things that they do really well that we're confident in, that they can execute at a high level.
Okay, one more thing before I get you guys to react on quarterback. Last season, why Austin Mack was ahead of Keelan Russell, a lot of people believed it was just Mack's understanding of the playbook. And remember, Mack has been virtually in this exact playbook since he came out of high school at Washington, and then, now 2 full seasons in Tuscaloosa. Keelan Russell was new to the playbook. So Mack, he's got the master's degree in this playbook. Keelan Russell maybe just got his undergraduate degree in this playbook. So you get asked about Keelan Russell's command in the huddle. I thought this was interesting from Kalen DeBoer here.
Talk about Keelan's command in the huddle. I know that was a factor last season.
Yeah, I try to poke my nose in there and just hear exactly that as much as I can, whether it's today or throughout the week. He's almost to the point now where he doesn't have to think when he says it, and now he's got to slow down to make sure everyone is very clear, which is a good problem to have, right? Just being articulate and not rattling through the calls, which at one point he might messed up the call. And it's not perfect yet because, again, there's new installed plays that he's just had first reps. Same thing with Austin. There's some new stuff he hasn't called as much either, so or at all. And they're picturing it in their head, and that's what I like to see is that they can rattle it off as far as the command with the players. I think both of them step in the huddle, and if there's chatter in there and they need eyes up on them, they'll say it and the guys all respond. So there's a lot of respect that the team has for them, and obviously the offensive guys, when they're in that moment, they have to do exactly that.
Yeah, so better understanding of the playbook there. But obviously scrimmage 2 wasn't smooth, and I I say you start laying that playbook out a little bit more. You let the defense do a few more things, and that can make you look a little shaky at quarterback. But I thought that was interesting that Russell's knowledge of the playbook has gotten to the point now where Kalen DeBoer, when he's poking his head in the huddle, hearing the call, it sounds more like a starter would sound.
Well, I mean, when the game slows down is when, guys get better and better and better. And there's no surprise at this time last year that Austin Mack, with his familiarity with Kalen DeBoer and even going back to his days at Washington with Ryan Grubb, had an upper hand here. But, I mean, Russell really doesn't have any excuses now that he's a year deep in the same system.
Yeah, I do think if you're an Alabama fan, you like to hear him say he needs to slow the play call down a little bit, because to Lance's point, if he's having to slow the play call down, that may mean the game is slowing down for him. Does that make sense? Like if he's too fast to the play call, he's comfortable enough with it, the game is slowed down for him a little bit. That would be your hope. Kalen DeBoer is on the show Wednesday. We can ask him questions like that on the show Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central Time. And I mean, like, they're in a situation, Dunaway, where without the spring transfer portal, you could probably name a quarterback, not lose a quarterback at this point. I don't think they will, though. Do you?
No.
Grubb did it last year.
In fact, the Alabama quarterback decision will go into the fall, is what Kalen DeBoer told Josh Pate last week. You can see that whole interview on Pate's YouTube channel, but does not expect a quick decision here because you have two capable number ones, or two guys that are a lot alike there. So that is something to keep an eye on. I will say this. Nick Kelly, our friend with AL.com, who does a great job, you can go read his standouts from the second scrimmage and all that, but one name he mentioned and has mentioned a couple of times throughout his coverage of spring football this spring is the transfer from USC, Devin Tompkins, on the defensive line. And that's a position of need for Alabama. And from everything you hear, Tompkins is sort of having his moments with that Alabama offensive line, who they're shuffling around a lot, trying people out at multiple positions. So Tompkins, the more they allow him to do, the more he is starting to flex his muscle on that defensive line, which is a good sign and leads to shaky quarterback play sometimes. When you've got an offensive lineman in your lap because Tompkins has blown him up, then that impacts the way you play.
Well, the word on the street is the defense dominated this. Dominated may be a strong term. The defense won this scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think you mind hearing that. But back to Tompkins, I mean, this is a guy that very athletic, plays a little under 300 pounds, and you look at his most dominant game was against a really good team in Michigan. Like, I mean, he can play.
Yeah, and this is, I assume, part of the group that Kalen DeBoer was talking about. Was it to Pate that he said this, or Chris Lowe? May have been Chris Lowe, where he said, we haven't overspent in the portal, and I think they've been net gains. And you wonder if Tompkins, those are some big shoes to fill in that defensive front with James Smith and Quay Rousseau and all those guys, but is Tompkins a guy you look at and say that was a net gain?
Yeah, our guys that we got are better than the ones we had.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, mentioning the guys who left. So through the portal, not obviously not Tim Keenan, not to put words in Kalen DeBoer's mouth, but I think what he may be saying Chris Smith, he may be saying Rousseau, who's at Ohio State. Those two guys that left in the portal.
Yeah.
And he's very complimentary of the guys we got over the guys we had. That's from Kalen DeBoer. On the show Wednesday at 11 o'clock, live with us, 11 Central if you watch us live. Hour 3 if you catch us on any of the replays. That's on Wednesday later this week. A-Day coming up. Morgan Wallen is coming up over at that stadium as well. A lot of stuff happening over in Tuscaloosa. We'll get to Auburn football later on. Cam Newton back on campus and all of that. And at the top of the next hour, we will get to the national championship game. Dusty versus Dan, Hurley and May going at it tonight. One more note in football before we get to the viewing menu. We will get a very popular coach back in Tuscaloosa this weekend to be the keynote speaker at the high school coaches clinic going on April 10th and 11th this weekend on campus. You know who it is?
So this coach is back in Tuscaloosa speaking.
And he's a very popular head coach now.
Currently very popular head coach.
Yep.
Pete Golding.
With Alabama ties.
Lane Kiffin.
It is D'Amico Ryans, who is the keynote speaker at the Alabama Coaches Clinic coming up this weekend, and he's back on campus. Obviously starred there out of Jess Lanier and Bessemer, and I think he's doing a spectacular job in the NFL.
Look, his defense, arguably the best defense in the league this past year, and if C.J. Stroud doesn't completely shit the bed in the playoffs, there's a chance, they could have made a Super Bowl run. I wonder, and I don't have a scientific number here, but if you polled Alabama fans, hey, right now you can give up Kalen DeBoer and take DeMeco Ryans, would it be 50-50? At least 1 in 4.
He is a very popular message board commentator, man.
And he looks like a head coach.
Come on home, DeMeco Ryans. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, DeMeco ain't leaving the NFL. I don't think he's got it too good there.
But you would agree, though, the Alabama fans.
DeMeco's very, very popular among it, and you understand why.
He is, but the NFL game, whenever DeMeco Ryans is not coaching the Houston Texans again, they will line up the door to give him another job at the NFL. That's the way the NFL works.
Because the only thing standing in the way of him being an elite level is consistent quarterback play out of C.J. Stroud, and that's not DeMeco's fault.
Yeah, and injuries. Again, not his fault either.
Yeah, so the guy's got a bright future, but I just thought it was cool that he's back on campus as a sitting NFL coach, as the keynote speaker to the high school coaching clinic going on over there this weekend, and he played high school football in the area, so he knows what it takes to play successful high school football. Look forward to hearing reviews of DeMeco Ryans over there. Baseball over the weekend, Alabama won a series at Oklahoma. According to D1 Baseball, they're number 8 in the country now. Auburn won a series over Arkansas. Auburn's 15th in the country now. And Alabama softball won the series against number 1 Texas, defending national champs number 1 Texas. Alabama won the last 2 of the series to win that series this weekend. That gets us to the viewing menu, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
If you wear glasses or contacts, I was randomly, can't even make this up, I was at a crawfish boil yesterday afternoon, and this guy that I met from Lebanon was talking about Dr. Mort Michelson. I can't make it up. I cannot. This guy, literally from the Middle East, he's been overseas now for the last 10-plus years, but was talking about Dr. Mort Michelson and LASIK.
It was a compliment?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like we were coming to steal your best doctors?
No.
Okay.
It randomly, he brought up Michelson before I ever did. And then I was like, oh, my gosh, I had dinner with Dr. Michelson a couple of weeks ago.
There we go.
But anyway, well respected. If you call an ophthalmologist in Chicago or New York or LA and you're like, hey, I need to get the LASIK procedure done in the state of Alabama, they're all going to say Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to do it in the state of Alabama back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Tyler, before you jump into the entertainment side of this, I always use this forum also to ask to help sort of calm me on things that may be fake or not fake. I remember seeing a 60 Minutes a while back about some injuries, the Havana syndrome, and now it recirculated this past weekend where I was reading stories about our government buying this weapon from a gangster.
The microwave weapon?
Yeah, that basically disrupts the energy and the molecules in our world and does damage in a room, and it goes through walls and bricks and all of that. And if you're in a short radius of this thing, it can really screw you up. So that's real.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different direct energy weapons is what they're called. The most common one is the LRAD, which you'll see on like SWAT vehicles. It's the big speaker that makes it like physically painful to stand near.
But I would say if you're now seeing the story that our government bought this on the black market from some Russians, our government has now reverse engineered this to the point that they're not concerned about that version of the weapon. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope so.
Like if the word's out, that was the whole reason our government was buying it, right? Is so that they could get it in their hands, they could find out, the supply chain there. And
Scott Pelley said, you
got to quit watching 60 Minutes after the games.
Our best scientists are working on reverse engineering it.
That's
so
right.
He even said that, but
I'm sure they already have. I doubt 60 Minutes is doing a story on it if our government isn't well aware of what this thing could do and how they can protect us from
now, with the aliens, now I'm worried about this reverse engineer weapon. So give me some horror film to make me feel good about life.
Well, I'm just looking at Havana syndrome now, and it says a 2020 report suggested pulsed radio frequency energy causing it, and some reports point towards Russian-linked devices.
Yeah.
Isn't that's the technology we used when we went in and snatched Maduro? The old boy from Venezuela.
Yeah, supposedly it was like one of the microwave rays where it like makes it feel like your skin is boiling.
That's right, and it knocked down all. Basically, it wiped out all the security. It didn't kill them.
Yeah. So is this almost like you know in Logan where you've got that everybody's shaking and everybody's frozen and they can't really do anything about it? It's almost that in a different level, right?
Basically, there's another one that is supposed to like smell so bad that you leave. I forget which one that was called. It was used in some riots in India a few years back. But it's like a water gun that sprays you with some real stinky stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the bathroom down here to the right can have an odor that will do that.
It's like sulfur down there.
Yeah, it's weird.
But, Jim, you wanted a horror movie. I'm going to a Scream Unseen tonight, unreleased horror movie.
One every week.
Yep. This one, very good chance it is the Faces of Death remake, which takes the 1978 version and reimagines it in an online space where it centers on a content moderator who has to go through all this messed up footage and decide if it's real or not, which is an actual job that Facebook now, I believe, includes weekly therapy sessions and psychiatry sessions for their content moderation team because the problem is that bad.
Ooh.
Paramount Plus has added The Truman Show to its catalog. It's a great film.
I like that movie.
Yep. It's one of my favorite Jim Carrey films.
Yeah.
YouTube Movies has got The Invisible Man from 1933, a classic Universal monster movie.
Yeah.
While researching a new drug, Dr. Jack Griffin stumbles on a potion that can make him invisible, but when he reveals his new ability to his old mentor and his fiancée, it's clear that a side effect of the potion is insanity. And then finally on
Kevin Bacon's version better.
Which one?
The Kevin Bacon version of Invisible Man.
Not familiar.
It was not called Invisible Man.
It's called a Hollow Man.
Hollow Man. Yeah.
No, I didn't
love it.
I thought the Elizabeth Moss Invisible Man was really good.
Yeah, that was the Lee Winnell directed one. It
was on Apple 2020, 2021, something like that.
Yeah, it was solid.
It was well done.
Finally, on viewing menu, Disney Plus has got a new release for Star Wars fans. It is Maul, Shadow Lord. After the Clone Wars, Darth Maul plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire.
Yeah. Just in case y'all didn't notice that, I brought up Invisible Man with Kevin Bacon, which was Hollow Man. Nobody said it was great. He brings up one. Love that one. Just scoring it home. The Elizabeth Moss
I've never
version.
seen the Elizabeth Moss.
But it's
never heard of it.
So much better than the Elizabeth Shue one. The Hollow Man, he's just basically a peeping Tom.
Yeah, Hollow Man, he
just wants
got
to
on
see
my nerves.
TNA is all he's doing, creeping around.
Hey, nobody admits it, but that'd be one of the first things a lot of people did, though.
Well, I mean, it's the first thing you thought of when the movie was going.
I'd be sliding in that bank vault, sliding back out.
They see the money moving then.
That's all I got.
That's the viewing menu right there. Regions Tradition will be out there coming up in May, right?
Absolutely. Cannot wait for the Regions Tradition. Jason Bowen had a number of people over the weekend mention how much they enjoyed him talking about the upcoming Regions Tradition. You can catch that on demand. But the Regions Tradition is coming back to Birmingham, and right now you can get tickets at regionstradition.com. That is regionstradition.com. It is presented by Coca-Cola, April 29 through May 3rd. Buy tickets online right there, regionstradition.com. All the great celebs you see there, all the great golf legends you see there at Greystone will be there as well. Cannot wait. April 29 through May 3rd, regionstradition.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Recapping the first hour, Taylor Bol Bowen is in the portal from Alabama. Aiden Holloway, campus ban has been reversed. His lawyer says he plans to enroll for fall classes at Alabama and try to rejoin the team. Nate Oats, his new contract will make him a top 5 guy in college basketball head coaching circles. And Auburn wins the NIT. Charles Barkley was courtside last night in Indy, same city as the Final Four where he's doing work tonight. And Barkley threw on the NIT Championship hat pictured there after the Auburn win. So one of the most famous Auburn alums before he does a little NCAA tournament TV work, courtside catching a little NIT Championship flavor last night. This hour brought to you in part by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City, ready to climb on your roof and give you a free, no-cost, no-obligation roof inspection. So many of our viewers over the years tell us Greg comes out for that free, no-cost roof inspection and has actually come down saying, hey, I did a quick fix of something while I was up there. It only takes one loose shingle, by the way, to open up a water entry point that causes damage to your roof, or one loose shingle and then more wind, and then you got 5 loose shingles, then you're missing a whole side of your roof. Maybe not that drastic, but you know what I'm talking about. And he wants to give you that peace of mind of getting that roof inspected right now. All you have to do is call 205-542-3531. StormRestorationRoofing.com. Locally owned. Him and his wife own the company for over 20 years. Deep roots in the community. He's got a variety of different ways he can help you with some financing. He's great with the insurance providers to get you the most money possible from them. He wants to be your first call when a storm damage situation happens. Even before you call your insurance provider, he can sort of help you through the crossroads that you got to face there immediately after a storm. So keep the number on standby, 205-542-3531, Storm Restoration Roofing. 7:50 tip Central Time, 8:50 Eastern tonight on TBS for Michigan and UConn. Dusty May gets asked a question about building a roster here. Cut 5, Tyler. Building a roster from the transfer portal that may go down as the best basketball team in college basketball history. Here's Dusty May.
Look, I know this is going to set off a Twitter firestorm, but I think we all are better in certain situations than others. There's an environment that's right for me. There's an environment that's right for you. And sometimes you don't choose the right environment from the beginning. Or sometimes as people, we change and we need something different for a number of reasons. So the way we choose to look at it, we're going to bring in really, really good guys that are high achievers that want to do it the way we want to do it. And when the Oklahoma City Thunder won the championship last year, and I'm friends with Coach Dagnall and a lot of people in that organization, I wasn't judging them because Shea Alexander was drafted by the Clippers or because they signed Isaiah Hartenstein as a free agent. I thought, wow, those guys play beautiful basketball. That is a great team. That's a real model for young players to watch. A group that obviously cared about each other, that played the game the right way, that represented their organization, their city, their families, their last name. And so whatever the rules are, we're gonna go at it. But our job is to put a competitive roster team on the floor that represents Michigan the way we think they deserve to be represented.
What's really funny about this, guys, is that this could go down. It'll be in a discussion if they win it tonight, especially by double digits, like you were talking about in the first hour, Lance. But their star player was at UAB for a couple of years in a junior college before that. Cadeau was horrible at North Carolina. North Carolina fans had no problem when he left North Carolina. There's a cast off from Mick Cronin that Mick Cronin basically trashed on his way out the door.
Yeah, well, that's, Mara, who is, he was the difference maker on Saturday. The 7'3" center really didn't find a spot with Mick Cronin in UCLA. Morez Johnson was a 6th or 7th man coming off the bench for Brad Underwood. So Namari Burnett, we saw, was buried on Alabama's depth chart. So a lot of these guys that are making major impacts for Dusty May outside of Yaks weren't major impact guys at their former programs.
No, it is wild. When I say a team bought a championship, what's the first team that always comes to mind?
Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins,
1997.
yes.
Yeah.
But Ohio State football recently gets thrown out there.
It does.
They seem to overpay everybody else the year they won it.
Yeah. But Miami Marlins, that's the team. We don't really have this discussion in the NFL because it's so hard.
Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah. Yeah,
Golden State,
When they added Durant.
When they added Durant, it wasn't fair.
Yeah. They won it before Durant. They won it after Durant. But when they had Durant, that was...
And if your Dodgers close the deal...
Los Angeles Rams.
Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
If they close the deal this year, it's going to be 100%. That's what everybody's going to say is, well, yeah, they bought the championship.
This team doesn't seem, to your point, this team doesn't seem to fit that mold because of the past history of these guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many of these guys will make an impact at the next level. I think Yaks is going to be a good NBA player. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I don't think they have any superstars.
Did not win the Naismith National Player of the Year, by the way. Cam Boozer won that over the weekend.
I thought Cam Boozer was probably a better player.
He's going to win the most outstanding player in this tournament tonight. If they win,
Yaks will.
Yeah, he'll win the mob. What do you think?
I thought it was gutsy the way he came back and played in that game.
No, I think Morrow will.
You think so?
Well, if he plays like he did Saturday, yeah.
I guess so. I guess that depends on who has the better game tonight. I don't know when they vote on that. You think it'll be Yaks?
I think it'll be Yaks.
I don't know when they vote on that.
For some reason, we judge big men in basketball. Height is so important. Height and agility, but then we seem to make it seem like, oh, yeah, he's supposed to do that. He's 7'4".
Man, I don't know if you saw, like, there was one lob pass. It was really it was a risky pass, ended up, hits baseline, goes out of bounds, and it's turnover. But, like, some of the adjustments he's made on some of his catches.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like he's playing on like if we were to get a pickup game of pretty good basketball players on an 8-foot goal, it's like, I mean, he is really good around the rim now. He's gotten really good.
He
11 of 16 this past
That
Saturday.
was the best I'd seen him in the Saturday game. Talking about the ability to run the floor and the way Cadeau was throwing the lobs to him.
Yeah, it uses the glass. I mean, I don't know. This is a team that is playing together, and even without their best again, and Yaks, and as good as Cadeau has been this year, wasn't good on Saturday, and they still, I mean, that was an ass whipping.
Came out of nowhere.
Let's get an update on Yaks and what they expect from him. This is Dusty May yesterday morning, so a whole, another 30 hours of rehab and treatment for Yaks before the tip tonight. Here's Dusty.
Tell us about Yaks. I believe he did get an MRI this morning.
Yeah, all imaging has come back clean, and he's getting treatment and doing rehab all day today. And I'm sure he'll give it a go tomorrow, but that'll be entirely up to him and the medical staff. They'll tell me if he can go, and if he can, we were laughing at he played the second half like a 38-year-old at the YMCA. And a really good 38-year-old at the YMCA. So whatever version of Yaxel we get, it's going to be somebody that helps us play better basketball.
I mean, when he got injured, it looked. I mean, if this had been like in January, like, oh, the season's over. I mean, it was the semifinals, so you're like any minor injury could end your season at that point, but. Like did it not look season-ending to you guys?
It looked bad, and then you saw his reaction. I think he dropped an MF'er, but, ankle, knee, I mean, two of the worst that you can tweak up, especially this time of year. I'm very interested to see how he is going to be with the swelling and how the 24 to 48 hours, he went out and played basically, a lot of adrenaline on Saturday night.
And they admitted that he had some things to help him manage the pain when he came back out of the locker room. But I texted a friend that I thought he was. I don't think it was Forrester. I texted somebody that I thought he was done because, I've just done this a long time. They went to the locker room, then he had the towel sort of over his head coming back to the bench, and then he was going back to the locker room, and I took that as he came to the bench and was basically telling everybody it's my knee or whatever, and I'm done. And one of the coaches or Dusty said, hey, get him back to the locker room. We'll talk about this at halftime. We don't need it on the bench right now. So when he came back and then instantly went back to the locker room, I thought he was basically done at that point. And to see him come back in the game in the second half and contribute the way he did for a little bit.
I mean, 14 minutes, but he had 11 points in 14 minutes. I mean, very, very productive.
The first three, I mean, all you have to do is hit one, and then they got to guard you. You know what I mean? He came out and hit that 1-3, and I was like, well, they can't slough off of him. They got to guard him.
Yeah, and I don't know who UConn puts on him tonight if he's 100%. But the good news for Michigan and Dusty May is, playing 14 minutes and you still dominate like that without your best player, first-team All-American. That's pretty
amazing.
Insane.
Yeah, if I told you that Yaks missed that much of the game, you'd have been like,
they lose the game.
So what's the Arizona-UConn line? I mean, you would have said, is Arizona a 5.5-point favorite over UConn? There's no way you would have thought they would beat Arizona.
Even with his two fouls early on, he was going to be limited in time anyway.
Well, their last two losses, they lost to Purdue in the Big Ten championship game, and then they lost that Duke game, the random game. Was that in New York or D.C.?
It was in Madison Square.
Madison
it was in
Square.
D.C., I think. I think it was in D.C., yeah.
It was a neutral site.
Yeah, but it was a neutral site.
But you give John Shire and Duke a lot of credit. They dictated the pace. Like, if I'm Dan Hurley, that's the game I'm looking at. They only give up 62 points to a Michigan team that has scored 90-plus in 5 consecutive tournament games. So, they lost to Wisconsin earlier this year, very strange loss. And the other two losses, Purdue and Duke. This team is, whew.
Yeah.
But again, we brought up UConn. How many consecutive games, Sweet 16 or later, 19 straight wins in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, or National Championship. That's crazy.
It is. I think he's now 18-3 at the in the NCAA tournament at UConn. Dan Hurley is 18-3.
So what would his record be against top 10 coaches?
Outrageous.
19-1 over his last 20.
Yeah.
Cut number 3, Tyler. Here's Dan Hurley on being the
not just the underdog in the national championship game, on being a pretty heavy underdog in the national championship game. Here's Danny on Sunday.
You guys are not favored and are quite a serious underdog in this game. How will you use that to fuel your team?
In this game, not at all. Really, you don't have to be the best team. You don't have to have the best season to win this tournament. These are all one games, game 7, single game elimination. There's been plenty of times in the history of this tournament where the best team hasn't won it. You just got to be better for one night. And obviously, for us, we need to play the game a certain type of way. We obviously can't get into a certain type of game with Michigan. They're incredibly dominant team, incredibly well coached, talent up and down the roster, physically imposing, all those things. So, the good thing for us, it's not a 7-game series. Just got to play one game on Monday night.
Boy, and that's what makes it different from the NBA, doesn't it?
It really does.
Just 40 minutes.
We'd be asking if it's going to be a sweep for the NBA.
Yeah, I think we'd probably be like, hey, how does UConn get this thing? How can they make it a 6-game series? I think that's what you would look at.
Your point being, you get it to, if you're 3-2 and you get it to a 6 game, okay, if we win that 6 game,
the pressure's all on them.
Yeah, and then it's just one game to win it all, which is what it basically is now.
Right.
So.
Jim Nance has got the oil painting of himself. Like, how many paintings do you think Hurley's got?
I bet he's got a
himself?
lot. He's a cocky guy, but man, does he back it up. I mean, he's not. I don't find him likable. I've learned to respect him. He's not the least offensive UConn coach, or he's not the most offensive UConn coach, I guess I should say. Or
I don't know who's got the bigger ego, him or Gino.
I think you saw that over the weekend.
Yeah, but boy, those are two tough coaches right there.
They are two tough coaches to like, but I think I like Hurley more than Gino. The guy, he just can flat out coach, man. I think he'd rather be the underdog too. Now, I don't think when's it like? Can you remember a 7.5 point underdog in this game?
Yeah, when they played San Diego State.
Okay, so not that long ago, just a couple years ago.
Yeah, but you're talking about blue blood UConn and Michigan, who has plenty of money and no shame in what they've done historically in basketball.
No, they would not be considered a basketball blue blood, but they're an accomplished program for sure.
Very accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe Michigan's only going for their second national championship.
I know.
I got one more thing from Michigan, and then one more basketball thing in this segment. We'll do 4 downs in the next one coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at Crane U. LT, tell us about those fine folks there.
Yeah, hey, look, if you're trying to refine your skills as the crane operator, if you need to make sure the job site is safer, the workplace is safer, our friends at Crane U, they can help out. Very important when you call 855-CRANE-U, whether you talk to Fran or Nicole, make sure you mention the next round, 10% off all the great services. Get the great crane training you need today. If you're looking for a new career or need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team from Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer, classes available monthly. So again, 855-CRANE-U or craneu.com.
Stallions lost a tough one over the weekend.
Were you watching?
No, I saw the highlights.
Oh, I was watching. I had it in a quad
Walk-off
box.
field goal, right?
Yeah, they
By
drove
Houston?
down and scored. Why they ran the play before the 2-minute warning, I don't know.
Who, Birmingham or Houston?
Yeah, Birmingham. They punched it in, and I mean, it only gave them one more play, but
it turned out to be a big play. It seems.
No, Kevin Sumlin didn't use his timeouts. It was horrible coaching by Kevin Sumlin at the end.
But the Stallions, they'll be back ready to pack protective Saturday, April 18, 3 o'clock. Be one of the first 5,000 fans. Receive a free Stallions t-shirt and Gucci Mane. We've gotten them away from Pooh Shiesty. So Gucci Mane will be performing at halftime. Tickets start at just $15. Bring the whole family. Get your tickets at UFLstallions.com. That's UFLstallions.com.
All right, looking forward to that. But AJ has his first win and his first loss coming now to his first home game. A lot of firsts, but Tyler Siskey, they showed him in the booth again. Cole from the broadcast was up there interviewing Siskey, and
had a big kickoff return, and basically Siski had to shut down the interview saying, hey, my guys are back on the field. And they show the other offensive coordinator. I only watched like the final 5 minutes. It was on the NFL Network, but it popped up on my YouTube TV, and I do it in a quad box.
They're carrying these games on NFL Network?
There's one NFL Network, 2 ESPN, and one main Fox broadcast every week.
Okay.
And so there's 4 games every week. So, yeah, every game is broadcast on a network. They get great TV package. But they drive down, they score 22-21 they run the play with like 2:11 left. Now, do I watch enough of this to know, is there a 2-minute warning? I don't know if there's not a 2-minute warning. Maybe there's not. But they ran it. I was like, the clock's running. Let's just let it go to the 2-minute warning. Let's try to kill a little time here.
I think if you're in the lead, you always let it go to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I do on EA Sports.
If I'm in the lead, I do.
So Kevin Sumlin's got 2 timeouts left. Okay?
After other side of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, other side of the 2-minute warning. He's got 2 timeouts left. And they get bailed out by the super challenge on a non-pass interference. The Stallions are walking it off. He throws his super challenge flag, the red flag, and AJ had done it to push him back, trying to get him off the field. And AJ, he's mic'd, and he tells the officials, massive holding on their left tackle on 73. And so they joked about him saying not just holding on 73. Massive holding.
Yeah.
And he won the challenge. Well, they pick up the fourth down play. So now Kevin Sumlin's not using those 2 timeouts. And it goes from 30 seconds
tick
to 2 seconds before he calls a timeout after running a running play.
How long's the field goal?
50 yards.
So he sat on a 50-yard field goal?
Yeah, he could have called a timeout and ran another play. I mean, even if you get nothing.
I mean, these are not college kickers, but they're also not NFL kickers.
Yeah, but he let it
didn't
tick
work
down.
out for Ryan Day, did it?
It did not.
Hey, and they've got, you can hear the players saying, timeout, timeout, timeout on the
someone's
sideline.
just letting
when
it go?
someone calls a timeout at 2 seconds, he's like, I got this. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
No, Coach, we wanted it at 32 seconds.
Yeah, but you still had another play. You could have run it, I mean, even to get it to a 47-yard field goal.
Was it a tight kick?
Oh, no. The guy would have been good from 60.
Okay.
And it was raining.
Well, Summy knew what he was doing
And he drilled it right down the middle from 50. But that was a tough
used to be
loss.
my favorite Chris Berman NFL primetime. When a clock was running down, he'd always go, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I miss NFL primetime. I did not appreciate it when we had it.
Every week.
I know, I don't.
ESPN.
Go watch it. Maybe I shouldn't miss it.
Yeah, it's streaming. It's just
tick, 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 tick,
tick, tick, tick, tick.
Isaac Bruce from?
You probably would miss it even if you watched it now.
Yeah.
I think it's him and Booger.
Yeah, he and Tom Jackson, he and TJ were the goats of that. I used to love it.
Yeah, back in the 90s, early 2000s.
It was better when you didn't have NFL ticket, right?
Yeah,
because
it's the first time you've seen those games. Yeah,
extended highlights. All right. So weird thing happened. First off, Arizona did not have an alt broadcast, but over on True TV, they had the Fab Five doing an alternate broadcast of the game the other night. In the middle of that game, Brandon McCoy Jr., a 5-star shooting guard, is on while they're watching the game, and he commits to Michigan over Alabama, Arkansas, and Duke in the middle of the alternate broadcast. So Michigan, I'm going to jump out on a limb here. I'm going to say in the middle of a Final Four game becomes the first team ever to get a 5-star shooting guard recruit in the middle of a Final Four game. But I thought that was a weird thing. And Alabama was in on this guy. So was Duke and Arkansas. I don't know who would be second in the running here, but he's I think from Illinois. No, he's California. From California, but he picks Michigan.
So back to that broadcast, though, and Forster's pulling that up.
Yeah, there it is.
Somebody texted me that Weber was getting really deep on comparisons between the Fab Five and this Michigan team. I didn't see it.
I didn't see any
I
of it
guess
either.
he was probably asked, what they would do, and it's impossible to, pit generation against generation. Look, that team was more talented, but the way this team plays, this team would beat Fab Five, beat them by double digits.
I thought it was pretty cool. Was it Yak's post game that was like, we're doing this for the Fab Five? They're over there, and then they showed them, and they all were mic'd up. I was like, what is the Fab Five doing? I did not know it was the alternate broadcast.
Yeah.
I was unaware. I was like, why are they all sitting over there mic'd up? We got CBS and TNT and TBS have tried to squeeze as many people onto a halftime desk as we can.
Yeah.
Like 8 million people at halftime. I was like, did the Fab Five miss the cut? Are they sitting there? Is that the green room?
The alternate seats.
Yeah.
I think this Michigan team may be better coached than the Fab Five was.
Isn't it weird that Juwan Howard would be there, though? Is that not awkward at all? I don't know. Just got fired a couple of years ago.
That is true. I guess he's always a member of the Fab Five, but yeah, you're right.
You know, some people can separate. Like, he didn't do a good job. He did a good job 2 years, and 2 years he had really bad years, and I guess he can separate that and still have his love for Michigan. I know it's really difficult for a lot of people, but I give him credit for being able to come back. Oh, and by the way, he's probably still on their tip.
Yeah, he's probably getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, for a team that got separated from their banner, it's not that big of a stretch for him to go back and do that, right?
So you're saying Dusty May greater than Steve Fisher? I would agree with you.
Oh,
yeah, 100%.
But Fisher's really. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. No, Fisher's a good coach.
He goes to San Diego State
yeah.
and does a lot of good things.
Yeah, but
yes, I would go Dusty. Dusty May is a star.
Yeah, Dusty May's in 2 Final Fours already.
Yeah. All right. I think that was the two things I wanted to bring up there. We get back to college football, and then we'll circle back to some more of the national championship game in a little bit. Why was Cam Newton at Auburn this past weekend? There's a reason why. That's coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop.
I was there Saturday. I hit actually both locations Saturday. 2 locations, New York Butcher Shop. Hit them both.
I was there on, was it Friday night? Yes, Friday night. Picked up, they got the potatoes au gratin now.
Yeah,
it's a new dish he's got with just loaded up with cheese. I got 2 pieces of the carrot cake because I love his apple pie. He's like, you got to try this carrot cake. We don't have apple pie right now. So I got 2 slices of it. Nobody else touched it. So over the weekend, I ate 2 full slices of carrot cake.
Yes,
the
sir.
desserts, the wines, everything. One-stop dinner shop, turnkey from our man Jim and that great staff of butchers. 2 locations. The original Cabo Heights, the one I hang out at, Highway 119. You can get the deli sandwiches for lunch or dinner as well. But get in, go see Jim and the fine folks. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And our friends at Talladega this month, just a few weeks now, ready to welcome you back to the world's fastest speedway, the Talladega Super Speedway, for the Jack Links 500. Race weekend is April the 24th through the 26th, and you can be there for all the excitement. All you have to do is go buy your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. You can add on the garage experience and be up close and personal with your favorite NASCAR team in their garage viewing area. Plus, be part of the pre-race ceremonies, the driver Q&A sessions, and the Mobile One Victory Lane trophy presentation. All that with your garage experience ticket. Go and enjoy the Jack Links 500, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
All right, we'll get to four downs in this segment. The show being brought to you by our friends at Innisfree. Our countdown to kickoff right now. We're about to jump into football, but Innisfree countdown to kickoff. You guys got a guess on the number?
I will go 144.
I think Lance is close. I'm 141.
145.
Oh, Lance was close.
Lance is close, and then you go 141. You're not even close. I'm guessing the close. 145. You're a week off. You need to set your barometer. Get right on the barometer. 145 to week 0. That's our Innisfree countdown to kickoff. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and in Lakeview. Man, don't forget, happy hour is great. It's unbelievable. Nighttime atmosphere, tremendous. But they've got great food, too. The Irish-inspired pub food with that signature Irish gold sauce. Always that world-class atmosphere. Game day tradition, Lakeview and in Tuscaloosa. It's our friends at Innisfree Irish Pub. The countdown to kickoff 145 today. Scott, give me the video at scrimmage inside Jordan Hare Stadium. Cam Newton back on campus this weekend. We'll do cut 13 after we show you this video. This from Auburn Football's Twitter account. Cam Newton on campus, talking to the players, camera crew following him around. Remember, they got, I think, 40 newcomers on this team, never played a game at Auburn before. So the coaches taking Cam around. Cam Newton doing a workout in the gym and is on camera saying that he's there to remind the Auburn players what the expectations are. Listen in to Cam Newton right here.
I'm tired of supporting something that's not winning. Can you deliver that message to them, please? Especially to the parents. Yes. Before they ask for money, we want winners. That's our restitution. We give you money, you give us wins. And if you don't, Control, Alt, Delete.
Control, Alt, delete. Lose my number? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, lose my number if you don't start winning. I don't blame Cam Newton at all.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Yes.
Same way I'd feel.
So he's Control, Alt, Delete if you're not into winning. So Cam Newton is back. Takeo Spikes is back. Here's Alex Golesh getting asked about having former Auburn players back around the program. Is he happy with that? Not happy with that?
From Bo Jackson, who came and spent 3 hours here with us, to Ronnie Brown, who consistently reaches out and asks how he can help, and Willie Anderson and Takeo, and name them. There's a bunch I'm leaving out, and I don't want to, but man, my answer is the same every single time, and it's be around. They're like, well, but what do you need help with? Be around. Let our players feel your energy. Like, you talk about energy, Cam, that's a different kind of energy in a positive way. Takeo yesterday, talk about like energy on top of, like I asked him if he wanted to take any reps. He said fullback. We don't super use a fullback, but if he wanted to come back, we would use a fullback. But like be around, continue to be around. And we had 220 some former players back last Saturday. You talk about energy at practice, like those dudes brought energy at practice. It was incredible. And it's incredible for our players to meet him on top of the networking opportunities and the outreach stuff that's going on with these guys. Like, man, it's been really, really powerful.
2010 now.
If I've gotten any message from
2010, sort of a long time ago now. In fact, so long ago that our buddy Connor O'Gara and Will in the OG kickoff on Friday was sort of rewatching the 2010 national championship game. But we spent time with Cam Newton over in Atlanta at the SEC championship. I'm wondering, since 2010, how your perception and feeling about Cam Newton as an Auburn guy is. Because there was a lot of talk, even on this show from Clay Travis back then, that Cam Newton would never be around the Auburn program once he leaves. He was a hired gun, one and done, great year, national champion, but he wouldn't be around. We are 16 years later now, and he's around more than most people are.
Yeah, and I forgot what those comments were and what the context was, but I mean, these guys want to be affiliated with their college team. There is something in those NFL locker rooms about that, and look, I mean, Cam is always going to be identified as an Auburn Tiger. That's where he had his greatest season, even sans 2015, where he wins an MVP and they play for a Super Bowl. 2010 was one of the greatest singular seasons we have ever seen. And I think this is really important for the culture of Auburn football when you got these guys coming back. When teams are winning at a high level, whether it's Ohio State, Alabama, back in the day, Miami, way back in the day, former players are showing up, and the current kids and the recruits love it.
Yeah, I never understood the new coach that tried to push away the former players. Like, in a sense, I guess I can understand. I'm trying to build my program. I don't need former players in there saying, well, Coach so-and-so did it this way, Coach so-and-so did it that way. But, I mean, when these guys are in the NFL, you got to embrace it, because that is one thing that is helping you get players, is seeing your players in the NFL. Like, that was one reason Nick Saban, he was a tremendous recruiter, but where his recruiting ball really got started rolling was when he started pumping guys in the NFL. And it became like, well, if I want to go play in the league, I go play at Alabama. I mean, that is the best recruiting advantage you could ever have in college football. If I want to make it to the NFL, I go play at Ohio State, I go play at Georgia, I go play at Alabama, wherever it is. And nothing says that more than the NFL guys hanging around the team and being like, I was here once, you can get to the NFL too. It was my path in the NFL, could be yours too. So this is only smart by Alex Golesh to embrace these guys.
Yep.
And these guys, it's not like these are Hugh Freeze guys either. These guys are far enough removed, you don't have to worry about them saying.
It's a fun buzz, but you got to win. And, these guys aren't going to come out and, on their bye week when Auburn's sitting at, 4-6.
That's right.
Yeah, there's got to be a special reason for these guys to want to come out. And, if I forgot what the schedule it looks like, but I think the very front of the schedule is doable. So, if Auburn opens up, it's 4-0 a possibility. I forgot what the number is before they get to a really difficult game.
You guys are better financial people than me. If let's say Kentucky basketball, for instance, not that Kentucky basketball hurts for money, but Kentucky basketball, if they just took their NBA players right now, and everybody kicked in $1 million into a fund that just sat there every year and just scraped off the top of that whatever the interest was every year, how many millions of dollars to be able to pull a nice little NIL piece off of that?
I mean, that would pay for the roster every year. I would assume that you've got 20 active Kentucky players in the league.
I mean,
so how much money do I have to just sit there?
Well, I mean, what would what kind of return are you thinking? 8 to 10% a year?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a pretty aggressive return, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 to 10% a year. So now, Kentucky's current roster, they would have needed, a couple $100 million in there to get 10% of that. So I don't know if that plan entirely works, but it would put a nice little dent in it, almost like tithe back, like you tithe at church, you almost tithe back to the program, which I think there is.
Again, if they could find a way to write this thing off.
Yeah, well, they did initially, if you'll remember, and the government stepped in and was like, no, we're not playing that game. That's when everybody thought these NILs, this is going to be great. This is a tax-deductible donation.
Yeah. But if you're taxing it when the players get it, I don't see why it's such a big deal. Yeah, that's my world, though.
So
That's
your
my
world is, because this used to be said when Alabama would put out the graphic, like $1 billion worth of contracts for Alabama football players.
If you just take 10%
You just
of
took 10% of that. And used to it was called the Crimson Standard. I don't know if that exists anymore. But that was the running joke, like when a new player would get a contract extension, well, he's also getting a letter from the Crimson Standard. But if the NIL, if Yay Alabama could somehow tap into that $1 billion of NFL contracts, I mean, you don't need that much of it. 1% would be a nice little lick to your football NIL.
Yeah, I just thought that, I mean, it's important. The alumni is basically your former players of the school, and that's where most of this money come to. One more thing from Golesh in this segment before we get to our 4 downs. Brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team want to help jumpstart your weight loss right here in 2026 as summer months roll around. You can do that with one easy click. Go to planforme.com. That's the website of planforme.com. It is Way to Wellness. And you'll find that she has no contracts, no sign-up fee, and your first consultation is absolutely free. So you can find out everything she offers, including injection therapy, and so much more. It's all right there. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. So that's our friends right there at Way to Wellness. And our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trust the name Birmingham has trust since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling. Any of these issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
All right. So Alex Golesh gets asked, cut 12, gets asked about the Iron Bowl practice round. We talked about this on Friday. And, he gives this. It's a lengthy answer. It was about 5 minutes, I think, in real time. We've clipped out 90 seconds here of why Alex Golesh has put an Iron Bowl period into every practice. Here's the Auburn head coach.
If I've gotten any message from the Auburn family, it's the fact that game is really, really important. Well, if it's important to them, then it's certainly important to me. And listen, it's had to take a huge mental adjustment for me, because the last thing I ever want to think about is the last game. I'm more concerned about today than I am anything else. And so for as process-driven as we're trying to build these guys up to be, it's the complete opposite of that, right? Like, we're talking about the 12th game. But at the same time, if it's going to be important to them, it's going to be important to me, and so I've adjusted and grown. And my thought going in to really winter workouts was, if we're going to make this a giant deal, then let's make it a giant deal every single day. And you've got 30-some guys that aren't from the Southeast, and so how they grew up is totally different than the guys in this state, and so you got to teach them. Whatever the reception is on it, I really couldn't care less, because to us, this team, that game is going to be critically important. And is it more important than any other ones? Man, Coach Talk would tell you no, the next game is more important than anything else, but to the people that have grown up around it, I would tell you it's really important. So we've made it really important, and hopefully the payoff of that is when we get to that week, it'll be really important.
You're never going to – that game is never not going to be important.
No. I mean, if you're going to coach there any amount of time, you're going to have to win it some.
That being said, it's never been less important than it is right now, because of if you're in a 0 or a 1-loss situation, it doesn't necessarily impact your playoff. So that – I mean, we've had Alabama win a national championship and lose that game in just recent years. 2017.
Alabama, was it 2017?
Yeah, 2017, lost Iron Bowl.
Lose the game, got in the playoffs, won the national championship.
Yeah, and on the other side, for Alabama fans, it's obviously not nearly as important as it used to be, because we talk about Kalen DeBoer's 2-0 in that game.
Yeah, that's right. 2-0.
It gets lost, doesn't it? You're right.
It's not a stat they throw out in his favor. 2-0 in the Iron Bowl. So, but that being said, it's an important game. Especially right now at Auburn on a 6-game losing streak. You have a problem with him doing this? Because, as he said, there will be people that say, listen, if you put so much importance in that game, what about the other 11?
Well, Lance brought up the schedule early. It is kind of hard to sell Auburn players on Baylor. At Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're going to do our Baylor period right now, guys. Let's get focused on Baylor. Probably easier to get them fired up when you start playing Dixieland a lot and get them focused on Alabama, because even if the South Florida players, or even if the guys from other parts of the country don't really know how big the Iron Bowl rivalry is, these kids grew up when Alabama was the gold standard of college football. So just the fact that you're focusing on Alabama, whether I realize how big the Iron Bowl is or not, it's going to get my attention, because I grew up in an era when they were the gold standard of college football.
To your point, I saw an Indiana kid being interviewed after spring practice the other day, and his comment was they were talking about trying to win another one, and he was like, we want to be the new Alabama, is what he said.
So that whole generation, when you say the word Alabama, whether you're at Auburn or anywhere, it's going to get people's attention. So I do think it's probably a little more attention-getting than trying to get them fired up and have a Baylor period every day.
He's saying all the right things.
He is.
Yeah. He looks like a coach that's
He does a good press conference.
Been doing it a long time, yeah.
He does a good press conference, but, that doesn't win you games.
Our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt brings us our 4 downs every day, and they will bring a little asphalt work to whatever you need on your farm or just on your home driveway, or, hey, how about this, a parking pad.
That's right. I ran into some road work the other day. I was like, I wonder if that's our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt. The reason I wondered that is they do a lot of the major state, federal government, and municipal roadway projects across Central Alabama. And because they do those bigger projects, it may make you think they can't handle the smaller one like Jim's talking about.
They can handle it.
They can. They've got an entire division, in fact, that handles those things. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards. So no matter the size of the job, you can get your estimate from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Paul Rudd, 57 years old today. Better career, Paul Rudd or Paul George?
I like Paul Rudd. Now, the answer here is probably Paul George. But
Paul Rudd's got that Avengers money, though.
But for me, Paul Rudd, I've enjoyed Paul Rudd more than Paul George.
So they call Paul George Playoff P, and that has come with how many rings?
Paul George has got 0 rings,
which is a weird nickname for a guy that's got 0 rings. Like, I would think if I just told you there's this player in the NBA they call Playoff P. Oh, he's won a lot of championships. Oh, yeah, he's won 4. You'd be like, oh, that makes sense. That's a good nickname, Playoff P.
One of the more amazing things, Paul Rudd, sexiest man alive a couple of years ago.
That was a big upset.
Yeah. And a guy that's been doing it, you go all the way back to the clueless days of the mid-'90s. I mean, the career has been, you mentioned Ant-Man. I mean, he's got Marvel money.
Yeah, I guess I go Paul Rudd.
I think I would go Paul Rudd. As good as Paul George has been.
Playoff P.
Second down.
Gunnar Stockton, 22 years old today.
How about that?
If I ask you more regular season wins this year, Gunnar or a former Georgia quarterback Matt Stafford with the Rams, regular season wins.
Boy,
no, I'll tell you what. I'll give you Georgia. I get
postseason with Georgia.
I'll give you postseason with Georgia and just regular season for the Rams.
Give me postseason.
7 days before the NFL draft on National Championship Monday. Hard to work the Rams in, but well done. I'm gonna say 13 for the Rams. 13-4.
Would you take that, Lance?
Oh yeah, I'd take 13-4.
I'm going to say Georgia's less than that, so I'm going to go Matt Stafford.
I would definitely, just to make this interesting, I would have needed the postseason wins for Georgia, but I still think I'll go the Rams because I'm with Jim, 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah. Give me Georgia 10-2, and then they got to win 3 in the playoffs.
Or SEC Championship +2 in the playoffs, something like that.
I've got a feeling.
But imagine if Stafford gets hurt.
I got a feeling.
Imagine if Stockton gets hurt.
Either Georgia or Alabama won. One of the mainstays in the SEC.
Oh, no. I know what you're
got
about to say.
a feeling one of those teams are going to be 8-4, 7-5 this year.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed this. Outside of NITs, the SEC can't win anything.
Yeah, it's a bad run for the
trending
SEC.
in the wrong direction. They didn't even show up for this NCAA tournament.
7-5?
I just got a gut feeling it'll be one of those mainstays, Georgia or Alabama.
Well, Kirby can absorb that. Kalen DeBoer is packing bags.
To your point, UCLA wins the women's national championship over SEC South Carolina.
Yeah. who smoked UConn, and then their coaches got into a little tussle at midcourt, and Dawn Staley said she wanted a piece of Gino.
$1 in the jar, Brown, for bringing that up.
You brought the game up.
How are you not talking about the student athletes, what they're doing on the field? Why are you talking about two coaches?
Well, I didn't watch any of the game. I only saw
that's the only highlight.
I only saw the social media highlights of Burr and Gino.
And I don't like either one of those.
I'd have taken Dawn Staley.
What are you going to do? Bring up the Angel Reese trade next?
She's going to Atlanta for 2 first-round picks. Breaking news on ESPN.
Third down.
Merle Haggard would have been 89 years old.
Mama tried.
She did.
If I asked you better career, Merle Haggard or Kirby Smart?
I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole.
You ever seen the at the Opry? It's Merle, older Merle, always old Willie Nelson,
Probably
and
Waylon.
Toby Keith did the cover to that. All three of them out on the stage together. Yeah.
Somebody's got a cover out on it right now. I don't know who the current day singer is, but there's somebody that I think has covered it right now.
Probably Ella Langley. She covers everything right now.
It is a dude. It is not Ella.
I'll tell you the odd cover right now. I forget who it is, but they got a cover of Traveling Soldier, which is
the Dixie Chicks song?
Yeah, which is a sad song.
Did the Dixie Chicks, were they the first ones to do that, or was that a cover by them too?
Maybe a cover by them too.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, as much as I hate to say this, I'm going to say Kirby Smart. Merle Haggard is one of the greats, but I think Kirby Smart is too.
Well, I tell you,
Kirby Smart.
It's going to be tough right here. I think I got to go Merle.
Yeah, I think
That's
right now, I think if Kirby gets another one, I mean, Merle, how many top 10 countries did he have?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at that.
Number
one hits.
I don't think he was as critically, as what is it when the
commercial?
His commercial didn't have the commercial appeal. That
he was viewed as kind of a bad guy, wasn't he? Like
but I thought he had a ton of number ones. Did he not?
He did. Well, number one in country had 38. Lance, that is a ton. That's a ton. That's on the country charts.
That's half of George Strait, but yes.
Well, they call it one King George.
So I'm wrong. He had a great commercial appeal then.
Yeah, I think I would take Merle here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't know it was that many number ones.
Mama Tried, Okie from Muskogee. I mean, he's got some legendary songs. I think I'd go Merle over Kirby Smart.
Now do the third one.
Let me go back to his number one.
I mean, I listen to him all the time.
Yeah.
He's on my golf playlist all the time.
The Fight Inside of Me.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you like Merle, Lance? Or do you just...
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm going to listen to country music, the outlaw country, now my buddy Chief is tortured with... Like, if I go to, Lake or anywhere with him and he gets to pick the music, that's what they're listening to.
Poncho and Lefty's a great song. Now, he did that with Willie Nelson, obviously. But Poncho and Lefty's a fantastic song. That's a sad one, too.
Oh, I think I'll just stay here and drink. That's a great one, too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I like me some Merle. Yeah. When I was seeing, when I was in concert, Chris Stapleton opened for George Strait when I went to see King George. And King George is going to do Poncho and Lefty, and the crowd starts cheering as he's starting the song. And I'm like, don't tell me he's bringing Willie Nelson out here to sing it. Well, he brought Stapleton back out. But I was like, well, I knew it wasn't Merle. Merle has passed on, so I knew it wasn't Merle. But I thought maybe he was bringing Willie out.
Oh, see me back home.
Merle's your answer right here.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
I'll go Merle. On this day in 1973, a very, very strange rule was implemented into Major League Baseball. Do you guys want to guess?
What day? What year? I'm sorry?
1973.
73. Strange rule.
I'll give you a hint.
The free agency started in 73.
Kurt Flood?
It was not Kurt Flood.
No, it was Andy Messersmith.
No, this was very one-sided. Only in the American League got it.
Designated hitter. Yeah.
Which never made sense.
Yeah, I never understood why one league was one way and the other
was the other. But if I asked you,
we did that until just recently.
Yeah, 2 years ago. If you could, who was your favorite DH if there was one go-to? So for me, and I'll just give you an example, it was very strange, but Edgar Martinez with the Seattle Mariners. And I thought he was, at one point, the best right-handed hitter I'd ever seen.
Was Pete Incaviglia primarily a DH, or did he play in the field?
He primarily was a DH.
Yeah, for the Rangers.
Right. David Ortiz, Jim Tomei ended up being a big DH.
Don Baylor back in the day.
Barry Bonds started DHing a little bit, didn't he?
Did he late in his career?
I think Reggie Jackson.
No, he didn't. No, he
I think
didn't. Let me pull
Reggie
that back.
Jackson DH'd.
Reggie Jackson definitely did.
For Oakland or for New York or both?
For New York.
Yeah.
I think he was in New York when that's. I mean, was he DHing the night he hit those home runs? The 3 home runs
I
in one
don't
game?
think so, but maybe.
That was in Yankee Stadium, so you'd had a DH in that game.
And that was 1977.
Robert says Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
JD says Jose Canseco. Jody says Rod Carew.
Rod Carew is a DH.
I didn't know that either. I thought Rod Carew, the California Angels, I thought he played in the field a lot, but I could be wrong.
I had him at the first bag.
Yeah. Big Poppy gets some love here. Don Baylor. Somebody Jesse throw out Don Baylor the way you did.
Cecil Fielder was.
Oh, for the Tigers, yeah.
Reggie Jackson is on this list. Greg Luzinski, thank you, Forster. 3-0 at home for the first time since 2004. Your White Sox.
Retiring Ozzie Guillen's jersey, by the way, his number.
Did you see that?
Swept the AL champ Blue Jays.
Oh, y'all got a team now, huh?
Harold Baines was a great DH.
He was.
Yeah, Harold Baines ended up a Hall of Famer.
We're reopening the Dome today at 3:10.
This is great.
Yeah,
they actually.
the Trot Dome's back.
And I'm telling you, I didn't see this. They've got Edgar Martinez, their number 1 DH of all time, for the Arena, newarena.com.
Yeah. For the Mariners.
Love that website.
Yeah.
Get all my DH news there.
So strange.
Yeah. This is where it's going to have 2 million subscribers.
I know,
10 million downloads a day, and they're going to like this podcast in Birmingham. Just took a shot at New Arena.
Shohei Ohtani will end up being the greatest ever, maybe.
I don't disagree with you on that.
At everything. All right, that's our 4 downs today. This part of the show has been brought to you by our friends at Odie's. Man, tell us about Odie's, where we were talking about just great sauces earlier. The best ranch in town, I still say, is Odie's.
And we're out there Thursday, right? We're out there Thursday for Masters.
What time?
4 bells.
4 bells.
4 o'clock. Yep,
4 fingers in the air.
Okay, well, can't do that until after the Masters, but yeah, just reread that text. But yes, we will be at the Edgewood location on Thursday at 4 o'clock. Come join us, getting ready for the Masters. Should be a lot of fun, always great food. That patio, I think it's going to warm up a little bit as the week plays out. I think I'm right about that. It should be in the 70s when we're out there.
Yep.
So come join us. 2 locations. The original and Crestline will be out there Wednesday night for Odie's Team Trivia, but live music, both locations every Friday and Saturday night. And again, the great food, almost 4 decades now from Rodney Davis. Get in and see Will Laver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that quality legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090.
Remember the
That's
name Way to Wellness if you're
205-229-2090.
battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
That go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Man, you go by there, see Sterling. First, one of the happiest guys in the world. My mom, who lives in Alabaster, she tells me she just rolls by really just to say hi to Megan sometimes. Part of the staff there with Sterling. She's been there since the doors open with Sterling. That's the kind of operation it is. Both of them run the place. Sterling owns Champy's Chicken in Alabaster, Highway 119. Mom goes by there for the salad and the sweet tea. I said, Mom, you got to try some of that fried chicken. It's brined overnight, cooked to order, and it's juicy down to the bone. The hand-cut chicken fingers. She's not a big fan of spicy stuff, and she stays away from the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, but I'm telling you, it is so good. The food, everything, the desserts are good. It's all right there at champy'schicken.com. Go by and see them. Getting ready for the national championship tonight, and when you see the graphic of the teams that Michigan have beaten and how they have beaten them. Again, Alabama, the closest to play them, and it was a 13-point defeat, but Alabama actually led them at the halftime in that contest. Will they be, in your opinion, the best team to win a national championship? Where does that discussion start?
Ever?
Yeah. Well, let's say since 1979.
Okay.
When we started seeding the tournament, because they just tied.
Okay, but you had 81. You had an undefeated Indiana team, did you not?
Or was that 76?
76, yeah. I've got the if you want me to help you, I've got the ESPN list. If you trust ESPN to rank these types of things.
Sure. Are they mentioned Michigan at all?
Well, this was done in 2023, so I'm just, in retrospect, I'm going to give you some.
I mean, Kentucky in 2012.
Well, their number one is 98-99 UConn. Lance says. For those that forget, that is the Rip Hamilton team. He was the most outstanding player. They were an underdog to Duke, by the way, and won that game. Duke had won 32 consecutive games. I remember that.
Yeah, that is not a team that would jump out. That was with who was the chunky point guard for El Amin?
Yid El Amin or whatever his name was. Yeah. Number 2 for them is the 2001 Duke Blue Devils. That's the 35-4 Duke team led by Shane Battier, Jay Williams, Mike Dunleavy Jr., if you remember that.
Okay. So far, this is the robot, as LT calls it. They put 71-72 UCLA before the time we're talking about. 30-0. 76 Indiana, 32-0. But in the window we're talking about, they put the other team they have here is the 67-68 UCLA team with Kareem. The team that's mentioned with those three is the 95-96 Kentucky Wildcats, Rick Pitino, 34-2.
Yeah, well, they've got the 11-12 Kentucky Wildcats, that 38-2, 16-0 SEC team that won the national championship and went 16-0 in the league.
That was a great team.
The Anthony Davis team, yeah. I mean,
that's probably who I would have number 1.
Right. I mean, that's hard to argue that one, Jim. When you go 16-0 in a conference like the SEC, now it wasn't what it is now.
I probably would have had UNLV at 92, although they lost.
That's the one that Jim and I were discussing before the show. Is like, how do you put them in there when they didn't win the national championship? But they were the most dominant team of our lifetime, I think. Do you remember that? What was the closest? I think we've looked at this once before. I think they had one conference game.
It is the most discussed fix of all time. If a game is fixed or not, that's the most discussed one, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were pictures of some of the UNLV players in a hot tub with an alleged, guy that was very, very involved in numbers.
Sporting News did this 6 days ago. Greatest teams of all time. They're not doing the parameter like I did of 1979. 68 UCLA number 1. Kentucky 1996 number 2 for them. Tony Delk, Antoine Walker, Derek Anderson, Ron Mercer, Jeff Shepard, Wayne Turner, Mark Pope on that team, Nazir Muhammad on that team, off the bench. Indiana, that's ahead of Indiana 1976, number 3 on this list. UCLA 72, Duke 92, North Carolina 82. That's Worthy, Perkins, Jordan.
That's going to be the difference. You're going to have all these massive names. Like, true college basketball fans are going to know about Yaks for years to come.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't unless he goes on and stars at the next level.
Yeah, but I mean, who from this team do you think will star in the NBA?
I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Don't think any of them will.
He said Jordan, Worthy, Sam Perkins. 3 pretty good NBA players last time I checked.
But if Michigan wins this game and wins going away, like if they've got 6 wins in this tournament, all by double digits, I mean, you can't deny them as one of the greatest teams of all time.
The next, through a bunch of 60s and early 70s teams, too, you get to Georgetown 84 at 12 on this list. Patrick Ewing, Dave Wingate, Reggie Williams. UNLV, even as a loser, is 13th. That's your first non-national champion.
That was probably the best non-national champion.
Again, that team I think they had one close.
That 15 Kentucky team that lost in the semis, though, to Wisconsin.
This is Sporting News, Brown. UConn 2024 is 14th on this list. Kentucky 2012, which you brought up, 15th on this list.
That's crazy.
Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah. Went undefeated in the SEC, and they were like 36-2.
And that's the top 15.
I just think the way this team, especially beating a team like Arizona the way they did in the Elite Eight, in the Final Four, I think you'll look back on that years from now and you'll be like, man, that was a 1-seed Arizona that was a really, really good team, and they completely dismantled them.
That's why I brought up 79. That's when we started seeding in 1979. Then the tournament expanded again in the mid-'80s. But it tied the biggest margin of victory 1-1 since we've been seeding, 18 points. It tied that. I don't know the other one. You may know the other one. Other time it was 18 points, 1-1. So it was the blowout of all blowouts when you talk about seeding on 1-1. And it wasn't really 18 points close.
No, they were up 30.
Yeah. So that's insanity. Cut 7, if you will, Tyler. Tonight's game against UConn, and I don't know why. The more we talk about how good Michigan is, I don't know why I start thinking UConn can win this thing.
That's a lot of points to give a UConn team that, again, Caravan is about to play in his – I've got the number. Caravan is going to play in game 18. No, he's –
it's his 6th Final Four game, isn't it?
He's tied with Bobby Hurley right now with 18 wins in NCAA tournament play. second most ever. I don't know who's got the most ever, probably a UCLA guy, but I mean, for Caravan to already be tied with Bobby Hurley with 18 wins, pretty crazy. So, point is, Dan Hurley obviously knows how to coach in this tournament, and these guys are experienced.
So Dusty May, who I think has shown his basketball IQ, gives a comparison on when he looks at UConn, which team sort of pops for him. What team has he played that reminds him of UConn?
It's going to take a extremely disciplined and focused approach every single possession, because if you let your guard down, they take advantage of it. And we've played teams like this in our league. I think Iowa is a great example of a team that plays not stylistically similar, but philosophically. They challenge everything. Their physicality jumps out. It's going to be a lower possession game than we're used to. And so, like I said, if we're not committed to defending the full shot clock every single possession and finding a way to rebound those long threes, and it's going to be a tough night for us.
I thought Nomari Burnett did a great job on taking Jaden Bradley out.
Well, I mean, Bradley was in foul trouble the entire 40 minutes.
Yeah, and one of those calls I thought was a horrible call against him, but two former Alabama players, and it was almost like Nomari Burnett, was in his back pocket sometimes. He had the hand on ball so many times. And I think the officiating, though you had a couple of big stars in foul trouble, Bradley and Yax, they were letting them push around a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how tonight's officiated.
Yeah, I don't know how you want it officiated if you're Dan Hurley. What's your path to an upset if you're Dan Hurley? I mean, you'd like it to be officiated where Yax picks up 2 quick fouls.
You want Yax a little hobbled.
Yeah.
And you want Mara to get those early fouls.
Yeah, that's true. You'd probably rather, if Yax is hobbled, Mara to pick up the 2 quick fouls, and then that will level the playing field a bit.
Braylon Mullins, who had really been off until he hit that 3 against Duke, at least behind the arc, 4 of 7 on Saturday. So they got to do something about Braylon Mullins.
Yeah.
Because that kid can light it up.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, if you gave an officiating style to Dan Hurley, I don't know the exact style he will want, but to your point, I think I know who would want the fouls to be on.
Listen, we get excited around here about teams making it to the Final Four because no team in the States never won a national championship.
That's right.
We've had 3 Final Fours in recent years, and it's been the best time of basketball in our state. It is different at UConn, and Dan Hurley has no problem telling you it's different at UConn.
I just, when you play or coach at UConn, you don't get the benefit of coming in under the radar. You don't get to sneak up on anybody. You've got to be able to handle all the external noise, the expectations, the standards, the history, the tradition. Like what it takes to have a great season at UConn is, to go down as having a great season here, you have to do great things, and it takes a special players, special coaches to be able to execute and perform and handle that type of pressure. Because we're not the underdog. We're not the underdog story. You got a Sweet 16 berth and everyone's kissing your butt. Our fans are so brutal on social and obviously I'm disliked by a number of different programs. Like when we lose, the celebration that goes on and the mocking, like that's kind of like a loud external. So we get to the benefit of kind of, I don't know why I just brought up our fans' brutality.
That was a weird time to bring it up. I don't deny that. They were just never really this until Jim Calhoun got there. It's not like it's been like some historic, amazing program like Kansas that has been good from the dawn of basketball to now.
No, but when did Calhoun get there? 90?
86. I mean, so we're still going back quite a while
40
now.
years.
We're 40 years
So
ago.
that's about when the tournament expanded
That's
and
right.
became what it is.
Yep,
So.
and it took Calhoun a minute too. His first 3 years were 9-19, 20-14 NIT champions, and this is I'm not talking about the NIT. 18-13 NIT quarterfinals. So 2 straight years he goes to the NIT.
But that was when he was probably making $100,000 a year.
Yeah, and then he hit the Elite Eight in 89-90, and they really haven't looked back since. I mean, from that point on, a bunch of Elite Eights and Sweet 16s, even to the point that Kevin Ollie, who was his replacement, won a national championship. Yeah. A guy they had to fire won a national championship.
Wait, so how many does Calhoun have?
National championships?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because they're going for number 7 tonight. He's got 3, Ollie's got 1, and Hurley's got 2.
Hurley's got 2.
I mean, I don't know, outside of UCLA, how many programs have more than 6?
Not many. I mean, I mentioned Kansas. I think they've only got 5.
Yeah, they've got more than Kansas.
I would
think
say Duke does. Right?
Duke and Kentucky.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean,
that may be
Carolina's
it.
definitely got more Final Fours, but I don't think they got more national championships.
No, because Dean Smith only won 3, right?
He won 2.
Roy won 2. And that's it.
I'm not sure Kentucky has 7.
I thought they had 7. I think Kentucky claimed 7.
Yeah.
I mean, 7's a lot.
No, I know. Trust me, I know.
And that's crazy that UConn has a chance at 7. And it's also almost equally crazy, as good as Michigan basketball has been, that 1989 is the only one they've ever won.
Yeah.
Pulling up the list of.
And by the way, as you do that, this tournament, outside of the Mullins shot, the last couple of weeks have been awful.
Yeah, it's not been a good tournament. And the TV ratings are going to be good, and we're going to get lulled into thinking that people will accept this.
UCLA 11, only 1 after the tournament expanded. Kentucky 8.
You're right. They don't claim 7.
Only 3 after the tournament expanded. North Carolina 6. 4 after the tournament expanded.
That's the 2 Dean and 2 Roy.
UConn 6, all in the modern day era. Duke 5, all in the modern day era.
I bet nobody would really know that UConn's got more than Duke already.
Indiana 5, 1 after the tournament expansion in the mid-'80s.
The Keith Smart shot.
40, 53, 76, 81. Kansas 4, 3 after the tournament expanded. Florida 3, all in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Villanova 3, 85 on. Louisville 2, Cincinnati 2, Michigan State 2, NC State 2, Oklahoma State 2, San Francisco 2.
I think you just made the argument. Since tournament expansion, UConn's probably the second best basketball program in the country. I'd say Duke is 1 and UConn's 2.
Yeah.
Technically, UConn's 1, Duke is 2.
I think in
But
numbers,
I would just say
yes.
more consistent.
Right.
I mean, you haven't had those. I mean, UConn's had some bad years.
In numbers, yes, but you've watched it. You tell me which program you think is better, Duke or UConn. I think it is Duke, but I think UConn's definitely second in the expanded tournament era.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know how UConn keeps up in NIL, though.
How are they this good in just basketball? Like, they're dominant in the women's game, they're dominant in the men's game, and they really have nothing else to speak of athletic department-wise. How did they just get this good at basketball?
You said it Friday that they give no money to football.
They're the only power conference program that spends more on basketball than football. And that was a Sportico chart that I saw. But even still, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Jim Calhoun unlocked it and Dan Hurley keeps it there. I don't know how Gino is that much better than everybody else, but it's just an amazing basketball school.
Inverness Country Club brings us part of the show. We get back to what Stephen Pearl is looking to the future on down at Auburn after Brownie and LT talk about the folks at Inverness.
Yeah, normally when I throw it out on money, Brown's like,
course closed.
The course closed. But guess what? You're going to be out there today.
Yeah, in fact, I've got to leave during the next break.
Did you forget about it until right now?
I did not. I had just told Scott in the back room. I'd forgotten to tell the back room. Charity event going on out there today that is a massive charity for them because it involves a family that is part of Inverness there, and I've agreed to go donate my terrible golf game to this charity, so I'm headed out there today, so I can't wait.
The weather was fantastic over the weekend before you know it. I know it's a little cooler today. That pool will be open, the resort-style pool. Will you be taking the girls to the pool now that you're a member of the Inverness Country Club? The best days happen at the Inverness Country Club. They got memberships that fit everyone, from the golf, the racket club, the social membership. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Child care is such a big plus. Newly renovated clubhouse and dining as well. To view this incredible club and to take a tour, ICCalabama.com. That is ICCalabama.com.
And our friends over at Talladega getting you ready for NASCAR racing again. Don't forget, it's coming back to the world's fastest speedway. The Cup Series in town for the Jack Links 500. April the 24th through April the 26th. Get ready to go racing that weekend. They get back on the track this upcoming weekend leading up to Talladega. You can get your tickets. Buy them right now online at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Don't miss any of the excitement, the people watching, and the bumper-to-bumper racing, all at Talladega, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Cut number 2, Tyler. Stephen Pearl, after the NIT Championship win last night for Auburn, as they won in overtime over Tulsa in Indianapolis, Stephen Pearl now has a moment to turn his attention to the future of what Auburn basketball is going to look like under him.
You know, I feel like the guys that we want to have return are obviously in a better place mentally. You know, seeing what it's capable of looking like, especially, you know, with the limited numbers that we were able to do it with. You know, if we're able to in this offseason, you know, plug some of those holes that we need to, you know, especially with rim protection, you know, I think Narcisse is going to be a great start to that. I'd love to get Phillip back to his natural position at the 4. I'd love to get Sway to play 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Those guys don't need to be playing 5. You know, that's just not their position. So being able to find pieces that, you know, can encourage the rest of these guys to come back and, you know, continue to finish the job is important. I think that this run and this decision to play in this tournament, there was a lot of that, you know, that factored into my decision. And, you know, it could have blown up in your face, but, you know, to our guys' credit, to our staff's credit, you know, our staff has done such a great job all year going through the highs and the lows, and they've stayed consistent with our guys. They've poured into our guys. They've loved on our guys, and our guys have received that really well. And I think they came out here and really, you know, they made me proud. They made our staff proud. They made our university proud. And I think they showed the nation, you know, what this team's built on.
The one thing I take away from that is everybody in basketball looking for rim protectors except for Michigan and Arizona?
Yeah, well, I mean,
rim protectors have become are the big men back? Do we have to have them now?
I mean, it looks like it. Again, it's typically a guards tournament. We talked about this last week, that it seems like everybody left still had bigs. Did they still play the NIT in Madison Square?
No, it's in Butler. They call that Butler or Hinkle?
It's Hinkle Fieldhouse, which is Butler's home court in the semifinals this year. And then the championship game was in the Pacers Arena. And it was the Division III championship, the Division II championship, the NIT championship, back to back to back, all yesterday.
Oh, wow. Did you watch any of it?
I did not get a chance to catch any of it.
As I consider this and think through this, I think your number might be a little bit low on the floor. And I can't believe I'm saying this, because when Auburn's regular season ended, there are a lot of people that wanted to blow up that entire roster and just start from scratch, just the way they had done last year. But as I think about it, I don't know if 4 is the right number. Like,
I think it'll be 5 when it's said and done. And Tahad's my swing guy. I think.
By the way, 5 is retaining a lot in today's
this day and age. Yeah. So you think Sebastian Williams-Adams, Elijah Freeman, Kevin Overton, Tahad, your swing guy. Who was your 4th? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Did you say Sway?
Sebastian Williams-Adams, I did. I'm looking, just digging through the roster. Porum? Is it Porum?
No.
I mean, he was hurt.
I think it was Jovic.
Jovic, that's okay. Yeah, yes. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Magwood was a guy that didn't play any in the regular season. He played him in the NIT. He said, make me regret it, not playing in the regular season, yada, yada, yada. So you don't think he'll be back?
Oh, I don't know. My opinion is it'll be
4.
5 with the swing is there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Elijah Freeman, I know this is weird to say, but I think he's a future NBA player. I think he plays in the NBA someday.
6'8", so where's he got to play in the NBA?
Good.
He's got to be
I mean, he's playing the 3.
Playing the 3? Yeah. Well, and what Steven said is trying to get some guys back to their normal position would help a lot. So the big kid out of France, Narcisse, that he mentioned, is going to help do that potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Overton can be a scorer next year.
He hit that big shot last night, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean,
he really has shot the ball well in this tournament.
Again, listen, I am the face of this show, hammering the NIT, and it was really more me and Lance than it was you, Dunaway.
Well, I mean, it is.
No, we don't talk about the NIT.
I mean, it
talk more about it this year than ever, but no.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it in the context of what Steven is doing with the program.
Right. I've become the face of our show being anti-NIT, and I'm willing to accept that because I stand by every single thing I said on that video that is floating around out there.
And I agree with you.
With all of that said, I don't want it to come away, and this is the part people will never see, I don't want it to come away saying that I have given up on Stephen Pearl and I think he's doing a poor job. This was his first year. I do think there needs to be some grace for that, and I still think he's the right guy for the job.
Did you give Cameron grace?
Will he reach the levels his father has? I don't know. That's an awful high bar, man. 2 Final Fours at a school like Auburn, that's a lot to ask. But do I think Auburn will be spending more time in the NIT than the NCAA under Stephen Pearl? I don't. And I don't think Auburn will settle for that because I think they're a better program now than when Jeff Lebo was the coach or when Tony Barbee was the coach and NIT was something you only hoped you could get. They're a better program than that. That was the genesis. It came across as I'm bashing Auburn, and that's fine. That's what Auburn fans want to believe, and they're celebrating, and that's great. It wasn't bashing Auburn. I think your program is better than that. Bruce Pearl made your program better than a program that gets fired up about the NIT. You're an NCAA tournament program. You ought to be contending for Sweet 16s and Elite 8s. That's where this program is built, and I think Stephen Pearl will still get you there. I do.
When we come back, we'll talk about the North Carolina job and get to trash coming up. A national championship game tonight, 7:50 Central on TBS. Don't forget the Shunnarah Showdown. You can go play that. Easy to go to our website and links off of all of our social media platforms. You can't miss it. What are they playing for tonight, Brownie?
They are playing for your choice. If you're the winner, you win tonight's game, you get in the drawing. If you win the drawing, your choice of a bottle of Pappy straight from Alexander Shunnarah's. Would you say our buddy Alexander Shunnarah has probably got a top 10% Pappy collection in the country?
I don't know about that.
20%? Will you give me 20%?
Yeah, maybe 20%.
All right, top 20% Pappy collection in the country. He'll take one of those Pappies out and give it to our winner. Or you get a choice of $1,000 of a Amex gift card. We're also going to give $500 and $250, so we're paying for places. And all it takes is you winning tonight's game. Michigan 7.5 against the point spread. You go pick Michigan or UConn. You win it. You are in the drawing. That's from our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, a generous guy. He's giving back. He's also a guy that's won more than $2 billion for his clients. That is billion with a B. $2 billion for his clients. And you know by now that he handles things like personal injury claims. He's well known for that. You might not know he handles claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, just a host of other claims. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
And our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, they bring you the final hour of the show every day. Go enjoy this destination lunch location, open at 11 every day. The hand-cut chicken fingers are so great. The in-house made sides and desserts, tremendous. The chicken's brined overnight. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the best tamales you'll ever taste, and unbelievable customer service. It's champyschicken.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that quality legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, before we get to trash, a couple other basketball notes. North Carolina, I don't know if Cauchy has odds on the North Carolina job, Forrester promo code TNR, but Billy Donovan has become sort of the focal point, the betting favorite, and we should know something today because the portal opens tomorrow on whether Billy Donovan is going to be the guy that takes this North Carolina job.
I think
not him, then who?
I think he's ready to come back to the game, and I could be completely wrong because the landscape has changed so much. There it is right now. But I think Billy Donovan has got to be your answer if you're North Carolina.
Look at Scott Drew, Mark Byington, and Ben McCollum there.
Yeah, I know. Look, and Scott Drew, what a down year at Baylor this year. But you think about all the success that Billy Donovan had at Florida, winning back-to-back national championships. You know, he's been in the league now for over a decade. Do you know how many times he's been out of the first round?
Made it past the first round?
Yeah, at the NBA playoffs.
Never.
Well, yeah, I mean, he, played for the conference championship in year one against the Lakers, I guess, in 15-16. But since then, he's never been out of the first round.
Okay. So the very first year, he had the Thunder in the conference championship.
Thunder lost in conference finals in 15-16. The next 4 years, good Thunder rosters, lost in first round, lost in first round, lost in first round. First year in Chicago, missed playoffs. Second year in Chicago, lost in first round. And then the last 4 years, he's missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're not close this year, are they?
No.
Yeah.
No, they are not close this year. And
there are people, I was reading a story that people close to him are encouraging him to leave Chicago. He's getting paid a lot of money, but they're encouraging him to leave to go back and win at North Carolina to save his legacy. Do you feel like his legacy is tarnished? There is a line between two-time national champions where he's part of it with Denny Crum, Dan Hurley, Henry Iba, Bill Self's got 2, Dean Smith's got 2, Jay Wright's got 2. But when you win that third one, that's a small group. It's Roy Williams, Bob Knight, Jim Calhoun, Adolph Rupp, Coach K, and John Wooden.
Yeah, look, you look at the greatest. He's still right now. Todd Golden will have something to say about this probably. But, no disrespect to Norm Sloan and Lon Kruger, but he's the greatest coach in Florida basketball history. But, yeah, it's just been so long, so I guess it depends on what he wants. You talk about he's making a ton of money. He obviously would make a ton of money, probably $10 million plus to go coach at North Carolina. I'd like to see it. I think he's ready-made to come back and win championships in college basketball again.
I never watched the NBA. It's very rare for me, so – I miss Billy Donovan. Loved him. I guess his last year was 2014-15, so 2015.
Yep. It was his worst year, too.
467 wins, 186 losses, 19 years, 14 NCAA tournaments, a good run there at Florida. His name is literally on the court.
Well,
it'll remind me a little of, and I thought it'd be more like it, when Kentucky was open after Calipari, and Nate Oats turned it down and they went Mark Pope. For some reason, I thought when Billy Donovan came back, he'd be the Kentucky head coach. I think he coached at Moorhead, was an assistant at Kentucky for a brief period of time.
Maybe. You know, his job before the Florida job was Marshall, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, it was Marshall, not Moorhead.
But I'm trying to see where.
I thought he was an assistant 1 year in Kentucky, maybe not.
He was assistant from 89 to 94 under Pitino at Kentucky. So, yeah, he had a lot of years there.
Yeah, he was there when I was there. That's what I thought.
You know, outside of that final year at Florida where they were under 500, we talked about his last 4 years with the Chicago Bulls, missed playoffs every time. So outside of the 16 and 17, if you go back to 2010, Elite Eight. 2011, Elite Eight. 2012, Elite Eight. 2013, Final Four. I mean, so, I would think this guy would get sick of losing.
Yeah, me too. I've always wondered about that. All right. One more thing before we get to the trash show, being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Gutter Cap. Tell us about Gutter Cap, LT.
Yeah, cap it, don't snap it. Talk to our man, C. Stu, this morning. Make the phone call that I made years ago, 205-823-2212. You want to keep the gutters clean and free-flowing? The answer is Gutter Cap. It's a patented aluminum cover system, fits over most existing gutters, will keep all the debris out, only water in the gutters. It's a dirty, dangerous job. You don't want to get on the roof, you slip, you fall, snap the neck, and die. No good to the wife or kids. Make the phone call, 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
After the show on Friday, Israel Abrams ended up committing to Miami. He ends up committing to Miami over Auburn. 4-star quarterback, 6'4", out of the state of Illinois, I believe. Picks Miami over Auburn. USC, by the way, who had 7 top 60 players in 2016. They're doing well in recruiting again. They're 5th behind Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Texas Tech early in the rivals' rankings. Virginia trying to get Chandler Morris back for a 7th year. The ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips signed an affidavit against that. The judge denies it, so it looks like Chandler Morris is done at Virginia. And coming out of Florida State Spring, it looks like Ashton Daniels is their QB1. Does that surprise you that Ashton Daniels, who was the backup at Auburn, took over the starting job last year, has transferred, and he's going to be QB1 going into the year for Florida State?
It just seems like Florida State can't get quarterback right. And look, I probably shit too much on Ashton Daniels last year. I was like, you don't want to see this guy. And first, glance we really saw it against Vanderbilt was the best quarterback game that anybody at Auburn had last year. Probably the best quarterback game that Hugh Freeze had in his small tenure. But yes, it does surprise me. I mean,
of all those quarterbacks in that state, that's the guy that's your quarterback going in with Kevin Sperry backing you up.
And if you're Mike Norvell with your job on the line. So Ashton Daniels has got to be QB1 that will win enough games for you to be able to keep that job.
With a new offensive coordinator with Gus Malzahn now on the selection committee. That gets us to Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Great time, always around Masters Weekend, for us to tell you that it's a great time to, if you choose to do this in life, a vasectomy. You can get it done and then relax on the weekend and enjoy a great round of golf on CBS as you recover there. Urology Centers of Alabama, they've been taking care of men not only through the vasectomies, but testosterone treatment and everything from prostate health to kidney stones for 70 years of compassionate care. 205-930-0920 and locations 10 or more, 10 locations in Central Alabama. Find the one near you. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
I heard the row. I felt that row. I knew to keep it pushing. I knew that. After I see the people run, I just see something big just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over here. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And it said row, and I just kept walking. I seen it, seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. What is the strangest thing you've ever seen coming through a drive-thru?
I guess I've I can't remember when it happened, Forrester, when one of our live trucks clipped the mast. It happened in town. I don't know which station it was. I think I drove by. I think it was on Valley Avenue just to see the chaos. That would have been back in the 90s.
I don't know about that particular incident. I know a mutual friend of both of ours who did that at a gas station.
At a gas station, all right. Do you ever give that mutual friend of ours a hard time about that?
It's been a while, but I can text him about it. Then.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean nothing crazy. I've seen cars broke down in drive-through lines.
You ever seen like somebody walk through the drive-through or golf cart?
I think I've done it through the drive-through before. I'm trying to think of which one. It seems like we were on I think it was a high school baseball trip, and I didn't want to eat where the team was eating, and there was another fast food place, and I
tried to walk through it.
I think I walked through the drive-through line.
Well, Chick-fil-A in Florida, unusual visit March 21st when a horse riding customer came trotting down through the drive-through. Creator, of course, Felipe Del Mora captured the entire interaction on his glasses from atop the horse. Servers were baffled as the rider came up to the service area where Mike, an employee, loudly welcomed the pair as they came to a stop. Quote, "What's up, y'all? How you doing today?" Mike said gleefully as his coworker asked if she could record the event, to which Del Mora agreed. Coworker then asked the horse's name, to which Del Mora responds, "Gitano." Soon after, car pulls up besides the interaction, to which Mike slyly celebrates as the car stops in the parallel line, softly cheering, "Yes, yes, yes," and pumping his fist into the air. So there you go.
So this is the new Google Glasses. Is that what they are?
Yeah, it could be the Google Glasses. I think they're the Meta glasses.
Yeah, the Meta.
Yeah, the Meta glasses.
Ray-Bans.
I got a friend that, common guy we know, runs a restaurant around here, had the Meta glasses probably like 6 months ago, was so excited about them. And then the next time I saw him, I'm like, "Are you still wearing those?" He said, "I hadn't worn them really since."
Yeah. I mean, just Meta record with my glasses. You say that and it just starts recording.
I think people are kind of...
Maybe that's what we need to get LT for the Uber.
We could do that. Now, again, though...
then we'd only get the view of the road.
No, he keeps glancing in the rearview mirror.
Have you ever seen me drive?
Yeah, never looked at the
multitasker.
road. Yeah.
'Cause I got that stupid thing, by the way. Love Hoover Toyota and love my Toyota, but I've got this thing that I've got to get taken off. Like, even if I just glance somewhere, it'll start beeping and it'll be like, "Driver, look forward," or whatever. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
There's got to be a sensor, a way to turn that off.
Yeah, got to turn that
Just
thing
run
off.
that by the great service department.
But if we did the Meta, it still doesn't take care of the fact that if we're going to be playing this, we've got to get the release, right?
Yeah, we still need to get a release.
We'll get it. Jefferson Casio, Colombian influencer. We just got influencers all over the place. With over 60 million followers, has been hit with a ban from Avianca Airlines. Never heard of this.
Oh, wow.
After a bizarre and disgusting prank resulted in a canceled flight and threats of legal action. Now, on March 11th, Casio was traveling to Madrid when he allegedly deployed a chemical fart device inside of the cabin, as first reported by Colombian outlet El Tiempo. Now, the stunt released highly unpleasant odors throughout the aircraft, disturbing passengers and forcing the airline to take drastic measures upon landing. Avianca, what is the airline?
I think it's
Avianca.
Avianca.
Immediately terminated Casio's return flight. The airline noted that deploying a chemical odor-generating device acted as a stink bomb in a closed environment, which could severely complicate safety protocols in an actual emergency.
Yeah,
Now,
I would agree.
Following the ban, Casio uploaded the YouTube video claiming the incident was blown out of proportion. While he admitted to bringing the device on board, he insisted he never intended to deploy it mid-flight. Stuff is so freaking stupid.
He should be banned from all airlines.
Should.
Yep.
I agree.
How
bad does that stuff smell? Does anybody know?
Very.
Yeah.
Very bad.
And now you're locked in. And you don't know what it is, so you don't know if it could be killing you or whatever. So there's panic. Then you start having trouble breathing. It's just it's chaos.
No,
Yeah,
and
it smells
if
like
you can get
rotten, it smells like rotten eggs mixed with raw sewage.
Well, let me ask you this: if
and
you
something
just saw somebody spraying something inside of that tube.
That's right.
And then you started to have that smell. I mean, the degree of panic or the
Terrorist
level
attack,
of panic would be crazy.
Yeah. Like at that point, if I jabbed him with my iPad pen into the neck and he bled out, I should get off.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I thought I was defending the plane at that point.
Put me on that jury.
Yeah.
Young fisherman from California swam out to wrestle a floundering great white shark and free it from its fishing line. Now, on Monday, April 1st, I don't know if this is going to be an April Fool's or not, because I find this hard to believe. I see it, Tyler, but it could be AI.
It's a weird place for a camera out in the ocean.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I don't know if I believe this, but on the morning of April 1st, Kevin Fan, 20 years old, was fishing off a pier, Hermosa Beach, California.
That's a pier. I can see where the camera is now.
When a juvenile great white shark got caught on his fishing line. They've still got really sharp teeth. Now, Fan made his way down to the shoreline before dragging the shark onto the shallow beach where he could untangle it more easily. Line was caught in the shark's mouth, so Fan got dangerously close in order to free it. In the video, Fan can be seen freeing the shark from the line, prompting cheers from onlookers. However, the crashing waves kept returning the shark to shore, which meant Fan's task was not over. With assistance from a passerby, Fan grabbed the shark by the tail, dragged it through the crashing waves to the deeper ocean. Fan celebrated by lifting his arms in the air and was met with applause from a passerby. One witness, speaking to KTLA5, saw the whole thing. Quote, saw a bunch of people over there, ran down there. The shark was on his belly, and this kid ran down. He was in his boxers. He said he was fishing up there, said he was on his second day. Now, Chris Lowe from the CSULB Shark Lab claims that the warm waters and strong El Nino could mean the appearance of more sharks in the area. Another local fisherman reported to KTLA that he didn't know if he would return to the pier as often as a result.
Yeah, I would hope that in the I'll do you a favor, you do me a favor, that he passes the word to all the great white sharks that, hey, this guy is a no-eat guy for us. No bueno on this guy.
Yeah, like
he helped us, we help him.
I wouldn't panic.
Like he's Aquaman to us now.
I'm not saying that I could easily identify that as a juvenile great white shark if I was in the water with it. I wouldn't be afraid of it necessarily killing you, but that thing could take your hand off.
Oh, easily.
Definitely.
Easily. Yeah. Dangerous. Always dangerous.
Finally, a pet parrot named Bebe.
Bebe. I'd go Bebe.
Is going viral after his owner took him snorkeling in the Bahamas using a homemade bird-sized submarine.
Okay.
Now, speaking directly with his owner, Stephen Lawyer, it is clear that Bebe is extraordinary. The custom submarine was built out of a clear food storage container.
Liar. He got it from Captain Crunch.
Equipped with two air fittings and one way valve. Fresh air is supplied by a 3,000 per square inch paintball cylinder strapped to the bottom alongside lead weights carefully trimmed to achieve neutral buoyancy. Now, to ensure absolute safety, Lawyer installed a meter inside of the front of the container that would alarm if oxygen levels dropped. He wanted to say, quote, wanted to be sure our beloved Bebe had plenty of fresh air. Team ran extensive safety tests before hitting the open water, including a trial run with Bebe in a bathtub. Now, once in the Bahamas, they took no chances with the ocean conditions. Lawyer went on to say the coral where we snorkeled is in a sheltered harbor, so we know there's no rip currents. We also knew there was no risk of him getting whisked away. Bebe loves to go everywhere with us and enjoys all of our activities. He goes on a 500-mile, 20,000 participant week-long bicycle ride with us every year where he has become a celebrity of sorts. And his wildest activity, however, is skydiving. Bebe has already logged 15 jumps since last fall.
He's a bird. He can fly. Why is skydiving that big a deal?
Voluntarily hops into the plastic bubble strapped to Lawyer's belly for a free fall at around 1,000 feet. Lawyer opens the bubble, allowing Bebe to fly out and happily chase the parachute all the way down to the landing zone. He gets sucked up in one of those engines, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I bet the bird's not having as much fun as we're making him out to have.
I would agree. And this guy obviously doesn't have a job because he's traveling all the time. Yeah. And he's bringing his bird with him, and he's jumping out of planes.
Like I took my dogs for a walk yesterday over at Herdmont Park, and they're on a leash because that's the rules. But I just think to myself, they want to get out on those soccer fields that are just perfectly cut and just have a field day. And I just don't do it because they have signs that say don't do it. And I keep them on a leash. But Occasionally I'll take them someplace where they can run free, but they're not having as much fun on the leash as they are when they're running around free. This bird would rather be flying around free than.
That's why you got to find one of these hidden gem places. I've found a park in a neighborhood, and it's a soccer field. Yeah. And when I got there yesterday, I knew nobody would be out there on Easter Sunday, but this older gentleman was out there with his lab. And so I went to one of the top fields, but it wasn't blocked off. So Chili and Bullet, of course, they get a little adventurous and they want to go explore. So I had to bring him back, and his dog was just laying on the field. So I took him down there. And, of course, 5 minutes into it, Chili attacks the lab.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody okay?
Oh, yeah, everybody was fine.
Okay.
But
I'm surprised anybody was out there. I know what fields you're talking about.
There's no way you know what fields I'm talking about.
You said top fields, and I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Top fields.
Yeah, normally there's nobody ever out here. I will tell you, because I don't want to give away my hidden gem, because I need my wild ass dogs to be able to go somewhere else, away from people. But found a really good place. That's all I got.
All right, that's Trash Today. Brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. One more thought on the national championship game after LT tells us about Michelson.
Yeah, Dr. Mark Michelson, again, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. Dr. Jen Michelson, they are the best in the business. I'm speaking from experience. I got the procedure done 2003. I wore the contacts for about a decade, had the 2200 vision, didn't even realize I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Got the procedure done, only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 20/15 vision, still better than 20/20. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Both Solo Ball of UConn and Yaxel Lindenborg of Michigan not on the injury report. Both will play varying degrees of pain tonight. Foot sprain in a boot with no practice yesterday with Solo Ball. Lindenberg ankle and MCL sprain, no swelling in the ankle, and a low-grade MCL sprain, according to the trainer, both receiving treatment up until game time tonight, 7:50 on TBS. UConn trying to be David slinging the rock. Hard to say that about UConn, but they are the big underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, they're catching 7.5 points. And again, back to 3 years ago when Hurley won his first, they were a 7.5-point favorite against San Diego State. You understood that. It is very strange, and I think it shows you how dominant this Michigan team has been when they're on this current roll of beating 5 consecutive teams by double digits, scoring 90-plus points in those games. But, man, UConn going for 3 out of 4, getting 7.5, it just seems weird.
I'll be cheering for Michigan. I think the position on Kalshi I'm going to take, promo code TNR, is UConn in the points because of Cadeau at guard and UConn's defense. That's the key to me, is I think Cadeau has a bad game running point. UConn's defense keeps it close with a door open for an upset.
Well, I do think UConn's going to play with a ton of confidence. Carabin's coming off the most experienced player in this game, is coming off, as far as tournament experience, a 1 of 9 performance. He didn't play well. UConn, the reason they were able to keep Illinois at an arm's length the entire game is they didn't turn the basketball over. They only had 4 turnovers. So if they can play mistake-free like that, and again, Dan Hurley is going to try to control the pace, I would assume that's going to be one of the biggest themes going into this game tonight. Tip is at what time?
7:50 Central.
I don't know why in the hell they do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be able to handle it, but, man, if you're in Atlanta or Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a late night.
It's a late night.
Yeah, game will end at 10 Central, right around there, 10 Central.
But that will be the big theme. Can Dan Hurley and UConn control the pace? They want to play this game in the 70s.
The greatest shot in NCAA history, the Villanova game winner. I was on the local news desk at CBS 42 watching in a small weather monitor while Mark Prater was doing the local forecast of that buzzer beater. That's how I saw the greatest NCAA tournament game-winning shots of all time.
I was on my couch downstairs.
Yeah, and because it was late, the game should have ended earlier, and it was one of those odd years. I think it was on TBS, so we weren't after the game.
Well,
we were on the air on CBS while the game was on TBS.
I never registered that. I just thought, that it was going to overtime. I never really thought about Jenkins hitting the shot until he hit it.
TBS tonight, not CBS, for the national championship game. And then we'll turn our attention to the Masters and more spring football tomorrow as basketball season comes to an end tonight and the portal opens tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America. Have a great day.